there. So, welcome everybody to Orlea Origins. I am Will, or Halfling Wizard, the Maestro of Chaos, for this awesome group of folks that you see to my right over here, over that way. We're going to go around and we're going to let everybody sort of introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, where they can find you, if you got any cool projects happening, and tell us your character, who your character is or name, and what's something that your character is. Let's see. What is it? Something that your character is sort of anxious about as you go into this sort of voluntold party grouping out and up the mountains. We're going to start with eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to start with Taryn tonight.
Hello, everybody. My name is Taryn, or you can find me on most social media platforms as Fluid Player. I am playing Belenor Vesh, a paladin of the ASMR race, and he's probably most anxious about not making it back because he really enjoys making alcohol, and if he's not at his bar, he can't make alcohol.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love that is his anxiety right now. It's like, I can't make alcohol right now.
Last session, he just found out how to freshly squeeze strawberries into wine.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Like, how does one freshly squeeze strawberries into wine? Oh, hey, and he found a way to do it. And apparently it was really good. Speaking of strawberry wine, let's go to Lisa.
Hello. Yes, I did get the strawberry wine, and it was quite good. I'm Lisa, D&D Winter Wolf on TikTok and Discord. You can find me on Monday nights here at Orlea Origins, and on opposite Mondays with a new game on the Surge platform, which is turning out to be so much fun, Wind Riders of Aria. And then alternating Fridays, you can find me in Celtic Vermin King Stargate campaign, which is also a lot of fun. I play Willow Rayvire, an Eladrin druid, and she is anxious, I think, just about interacting with a group like this. She's been on her own for a while, but she also kind of craves that companionship, so she may be trying just a little too hard.
That's fair as well. All right. Excellent. Nick.
Evening, everybody. My name is Nick. I'm going to be portraying Varric Wolfspear Vergari. He is a Goliath the Barbarian. On social media, you can find me at NickSand73 on Twitch, and you can also find me on TikTok at Professor Hexagon. I, too, am in Kellen's Stargate campaign. I think the next one's coming out, not this coming Friday, but the following. A whole lot of fun there. I get to play basically a Viking scientist on that one, which is just a great character to play. Varric's main source of anxiety right now would actually be trying to keep tabs on Mint, probably. I want to make sure nothing bad happens to him.
Okay, that's very cool. Yes, that's right. Mint and Varric made a connection last episode, so that was fun. Speaking of Mint, Christian.
Hey everybody, Temporary Hit Points here. I play Mint Orcanus, the goblin paladin who likes to collect bones. And let's see, what am I working on right now? I am currently working on a commission for Tony, who's running, I think his campaign's the Golden Feathers of
Tian Tang, I think.
Tian Tang, yeah.
So he reached out, and we're working together on some character art for his campaign, which is really exciting. And let's see what else. What Mint is currently concerned about is probably, he's probably not worried about much right now. He's a very, butterfly kind of character, but he definitely would be wondering if maybe he misplaced one of the bones he had recently collected. So, he might just be like checking his pockets for his keys kind of thing. Did I put that? No, that's not
over here. Is it over here?
Yeah.
Is it in this bag? Is it in
Yeah, so that's where he's at right now. I think he would be excited on the prospect of seeing dragons. So he's pretty stoked about that.
Very cool. Mint comes with a lot of baggage, literally and figuratively. All right, and last but not least, Kel.
Hey, y'all, I'm Kellen, also known as the Celtic Wyvern King. You can find me on Twitch and TikTok under the same. As for projects, obviously I'm here every Monday for either Orlea Origins or Wind Riders of Aria, as they are on alternating Mondays. And both games from the session ones just went off without hits. They were awesome. Because one, Wind Riders was really fun playing Surge. And two, we got to see Will's creativity because we keep talking and giving him, all sorts of boasts about this man. No joke. Oh, wrong way on camera because mirrored. This man literally came up with a whole card game midstream. No joke. In about 20 minutes, if that. So definitely go watch the VOD for that if you haven't. Yeah, and then catch us for our next session there. But also on Friday, every other Friday, you can find me on my own channel running a Stargate 5e campaign, where I get to DM Nick and Lisa here, as well as a few of our other friends for that one, which has been really fun there. Right now, they're on the Prometheus, so they're in the middle of space where no one can hear them scream. I got to go with that. Come on. Okay, I have to make that tagline. Anyway.
It works.
But then on alternating Fridays, you can find me over on the Dinner Game as we are getting ready to start our Walking Dead game. Using the new system, the new book by Free League Publishing, which uses the Year Zero engine, which is a really fun system as well. Am I missing anything? No, that's about it. That's about all the projects. Because you also find, if you want to get caught on my Stargate game, my links are on my YouTube, which are on my link tree.
Yep. And of course, I am Will, or Halfling Wizard, the Maestro of Chaos here. And you can find me here every Monday night, either here with this group playing Origins, or on the alternating Mondays with some of this group in Wind Riders of Aria, which is a really cool brand new TTRPG platform called Surge, and we are one of the first to actually put it out there on live stream, and we're super excited about it. When I'm not here, you can find me over on ADH Adventures on Tuesdays, playing Mim, the Mimic Folk Druid in Turning Point, and on alternating Saturdays, you can find me playing Ikaran Unwell, a Hexblade Warlock, War Domain Cleric. Yes, that's what it is. He's sort of the emo character of the group. And yeah, so cool.
I'll say, I forgot.
Yep.
I'm playing Kieran, our ASMR Bard, and his anxious bit probably is how many people witnessed whatever the hell he did when he was passed out from Dragon's Milk Glass, and that's probably what he's anxious about.
Oh, those moments will come back and haunt you later.
Oh, I know. But that's kind of what he's anxious about, is trying to recall everything that happened, how many witnesses there were.
What do we know about that? We know there was a goat. There was jam.
Yep.
We know that you took off all your clothes at some point.
Yep.
And you found yourself in a pit trap.
Uh-huh.
A farm.
Found by the yokels.
Yeah, found by the yokels. And you did the walk of shame back to the village.
Oh, yeah.
Where you found your clothes on a scarecrow covered in jam.
Thank God for prestidigitation.
Yep, you did prestidigitation, got rid of the jam. You did see the goat. And then you went back to town. Yeah. So you
Did
had
I see a goat? I thought the only reason I knew about the goat was because I overheard someone in the bar talking about it.
Yeah, you heard someone talking about it in the bar. That's what it was. Yeah. You haven't seen the goat yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen the goat. Yet.
Yet. Yet.
No goats
So-
were harmed in the last episode.
No goats. No goats were harmed. It was all consensual. So yeah. So when last we were here, well, before I get into storyline, if you would, through the chat, you will see all of the links that I have for these amazing folks that I am having the honor of playing this game with. If you could go on, click on those and go follow them and like their stuff and things of that nature. And Christian will do cool artwork for you, and it's really amazing. And you can check out all of Kellen's cool games and Nick's. I think you just got a Twitch, right? You're about to start twitching. Twitching. And yeah. So, and of course, you can follow. You can click on the Halfling Wizard link tree and go to all my stuff. But if you're watching us and this is your first time here, we would really love a follow on our Twitch so we can get to that 50 number. We're at like 32 currently. So we're working our way up there. So we would appreciate a follow and a share if you wouldn't mind. All right, so let's get to the meat of it, shall we? And I'm also wearing, you may have noticed, I'm wearing my kitty ear headphones because my headphones broke. So I'm using my husband's. Yeah. So you can't really see them all that well, and that's okay. All right, so when last we were here, in essence, the essence of it was that we were going about, Kieran did his thing that the whole village knows about. And suddenly we had a very low flyby by a rather large group of dragons. It's the closest they've ever flown to the actual town of Mediterraneus. They usually stay way up in the air. They don't bother humans. They don't, to dragons, for the most part, humans are insignificant and they don't really care about them. They don't eat them that often unless you come and like poke at them with a stick, and then they probably will eat you. But this is very strange. This is the first time, and it's not an unusual occurrence to have dragons flying over Mediterraneus because for reasons. But this is the first time for those who have been in the town for a while that you've ever seen the dragons get this low. So low that you could feel the burst of air through the village. Some of the roofs, parts of the roofs were kind of taken off. No major damage, but very, very close. And while that was happening, a hill to the east that you can see above the forest line, an ancient black dragon sat there, perched on the hill, watching the whole time, watching the village. It's almost as though if you were looking at him, it's as if he was looking right at you. And then eventually he just uplifts and flies north. The constable of the town calls everyone to a public meeting. We meet at Bellinor's tavern. Refresh me on the name. The Charming Crow, I think is what it was, right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, we all gathered at the Charming Crow, where the constable basically said, hey, this is an unusual thing, and we need to figure out what it is. So do I have any volunteers to go up to basically climb up the North Mountains to the Crested Peak and see what's going on up there? Because that seems to be where all the dragons were headed. So after not a whole lot of, I think for the most part, everyone volunteered pretty quickly, except for maybe Willow. She was a little hesitant, but when they were like, hey, we need a healer, are there any doctors in the house? Reluctantly, she said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So she signs up. And then, of course, the constable specifically asks Bellinor to go with them. Because he's a resident of the town. The others are more visiting the town or have been here for just like a couple of weeks or that sort of thing. So he wanted someone who was a resident to go with them. So Bellinor goes with. So that's kind of where we ended. We had gotten supplies. It's a multi-day journey up the mountain ridge, through terrain that probably most of you are familiar with, I'm going to say. I know, Varric, you'd be very familiar with the sort of mountainous terrain. I don't know, everybody else. What is everyone's experience with mountainous terrain? So, like, Kieran, what is yours? Have you been in the mountains much, or are you more of a keep my feet in the plains kind of guy?
I think it would really vary for me, as kind of like trying to find, where the story is, so that he can, be able to, make his way when he hits different villages. And plus, there's definitely going to be different like settlements where Kieran would have to go through a mountain range or two. There's no way he'd be able to hit up some of the bigger settlements without going through a mountain.
Okay.
So, but I would say like the preference is not the mountains, but he's not like a stranger to them.
Okay, cool. What about Mint? What's his experience with mountain passes and things of that?
I would say that he spent a lot of his time in the forest for sure. I would say he's somewhat familiar, but not like it's not where he's from. So
it's not really his first choice.
Yeah.
Like,
he does like
Dragon go.
So if like maybe he might have found himself like wandering a little too far sometimes, but he's not like a knowledgeable.
Right. Okay. Cool. What about Willow?
Well, she would have had to cross the mountains at some point to get where she is now, probably down what will become the Timber Road. There's probably some kind of traveled path through there. So up and over and back down.
So that's about the extent of her mountain experience.
That's it.
Since okay, that's fair. What about Belnor, Mr. Resident of Mediterraneus? Whiskey making.
He doesn't really get out much. He kind of doesn't really give himself the time. He probably could make the time, but he just doesn't give himself the time. So, I mean, he probably has a time or two before, but he's not. It's been a while, so he doesn't exactly remember a lot of it. He's just going to kind of follow everyone else's lead on that.
Okay. But he's not a stranger.
Yeah.
To them. I mean, he's again, it's probably not his terrain of choice.
Yeah.
But not like oh God, I've never been to the mountains. I don't know what do you wear when you go to the mountains? Does this outfit look okay? Does this look like a mountain? It's like I want to say I would love it, only because in my own little mind, it's like, you always have that character that's like the idea of the stereotypical mountaineer that's like, okay, I know what you have to have to get into the mountains. And he comes out and he's completely overdressed. And everybody else is sort of like,
that's probably what he's got going on.
Like, what is it? It's like this sort of huge backpack with like pots and pans attached to it, bedroll, and he's got complete just sort of explorer gear on.
The way you're describing that is making me think of the Doc from Treasure Planet.
Well, yeah, that's very much it. Like this is what an explorer looks like, It's like completely overdone. So, all right, so you guys have gotten your supplies together for what'll take probably a couple of days with some stops along the way, only because the North Mountains, unlike the sort of Eastern mountain ridge, the North Mountains are much more jagged and sort of rough. They're not really a place that people usually go because there's not a lot of vegetation. You know, you might find some wild goats or wild sheep or wild sort of animals of that nature, or lizards, things of that. But you're not going to find anything substantial probably for like food wise. So you probably gathered up enough food supplies to last you for, probably about 3 or 4 days. You think going there, staying there for a day and then coming back. Maybe more, maybe 5, just depends. But yeah, so once you gather all of your equipment, you will take horses for probably the first part of this leg to get to the base of the mountain, which is probably about a quarter-day ride from Mediterraneus. Or you can take a boat up the river. I'm going to let you guys decide. What do you want to do? Do you want to take a boat or do you want to take horses?
Is there a horse that's big enough to fit Varric?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they have Goliath ready horses.
Oh, yeah, they've got. Oh,
Maybe
yeah, because you've got Goliaths in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I'm picturing like a 20-year-old on a tricycle, just kind of walking, like feet on flat on the ground, as
I'll just I guess we take the horses on the boat.
Well, they don't have big boats, so it's you take a boat, you get off, and you walk the rest of the way.
And
take horses.
Horses. I vote horses.
Is there are there war ponies?
War ponies?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there might be a mule or two.
Okay, yeah, Mint will go with the mule.
Okay.
Yeah, Varric votes horses.
Okay.
I'm going to vote boat because Kieran is enough walking in his normal time. He's going to take the leisurely route as possible. Well, leisurely in comparison. I know some of the crew is big.
Okay. All right. What about Bellinor?
Well, he definitely wait for everyone else to vote. So what's the count so far? What do we got?
We have 3 horses, 1 boat.
I'm in the minority.
Yeah, I feel like he would definitely vote boat, but it doesn't matter. So
Well, not necessarily, because I'm going to give Kieran a chance to persuade the party to go by boat.
Oh.
can I assist him with my proficiency in persuasion?
Sure, but I want to hear, what is it you tell the party to say, hey, the boat's a better option because...
Yeah, the prettiest argument that I would make is the boat's a better option because let's conserve the most energy in getting there. Even though the horse would be kind of doing all the pulling, while riding it, that's the energy on us. Rein the horse in, put the saddles on every morning, saddles on every night. Make sure they're actually, we have them tied to a tree so they don't ride away on us. Whereas the boat is just down the river.
And I like to add that horses can hurt the lower back. I've learned that from experience.
Yeah, we can come across a snake and it might throw you off the horse. I admit here, might fall 30 feet. On the fun way.
I love Bellinor's, comfort is definitely a thing. It's like...
All the ASMRs are trying to go the easier route too. That's the funny part.
Yeah. Okay. Is that your argument?
Yes, that's my argument.
Okay, I need you to roll persuasion, and I need everyone to. We're going to do a sort of a challenge. I want everyone to roll that sort of persuasion. I need everyone except for Kellen. You're going to tell me what yours is out loud. Everybody else needs to send me theirs. You can send it. Just drop it in the private chat.
I was like, it was a 6.
Okay, that's fine.
And that was with a +4.
And did you give? Oh, Bellinor gave you assistance.
Oh yeah,
so
I forgot about that. So I didn't roll advantage. Hold on. That's a 17. Thank you,
Okay.
Belnar.
Okay, so 17, and then everybody else will just sort of roll it and send it to me in the private chat. That'd be great.
I should probably put my phone
Did you
on
want us
charger.
to send them direct or just post them in chat?
Just post them in the private chat in the StreamYard. There you go. And so I just need it from the 3. I don't need it from Bellinor or here. All right.
Again, I just love the irony of the ASMR, especially with the paladin and the bard going nah leisure.
I'm rolling it anyway, just to see what it. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Just to see what I would get. It's a 26 total on mine. It doesn't matter, but just throwing it out there.
Love that. Okay. Yeah.
What's your persuasion?
+7.
God. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so as you guys have gathered up all your supplies and you've sat and spent about, hey Mad Hatter, how you doing? Sort of gotten your things. You listened to well, tell me what add it, whatever it is, so I can do this. So 19. Okay, gotcha. All right, give me a second. Let me redo my calculations.
I'm gonna love it if like that little bit made the difference of them making it or not. Because that'll just be funny. It's like
I just rolled and I was like, okay, that's what I got, and I just put it in there. And I was like, wait, there's numbers to add to this.
hey, it's Monday, man.
Okay, cool. So as you're all sort of there, you get your supplies. Everyone, then then the camera flashes, to the party leaving as everyone's sitting there with sort of scally faces as you're all on a boat heading up the North River.
Yes.
So on a boat heading to the North River.
I'd like to point out that horses have intelligence. Boats do not.
Well, lucky for you, they're able to have 2 boats, one with horses on it and one with you. So horses are coming because you will have.
Can I ride in the?
No, it's too small. I mean, it's
Okay.
like crowded. I mean, you can ride on the horses, but you probably
Are
don't
these
want
like,
to ride off them.
Can
for
I-
a long.
Mint's gonna look back at the horse boat and he's just gonna say, Mint remembers a riddle about a farmer, a lion,
I would like
and a
to
goat.
ride on the horse boat.
Okay. Well, okay. We can say you're on the horse boat. That's fine.
Thank you.
If you would like to be on the horse boat.
I would say, are these like sloops? Like how big are the boats?
The one you're on is very much sort of like a catamaran style. It's more of a platform style boat as opposed to like a canoe. It's not too bad. It's not huge by any means, but it comfortably sits all of you.
Oh, one of those boats. Okay.
And your stores, and all your stores. So all your supplies are there. Yeah. You have
Kieran
someone
just-
who's taking you up the river.
Yeah, so Kieran, knowing that he won the argument there, is going to be on the top deck, just kicking back, soaking in whatever rays there may be.
Well, the sun is out.
Yeah.
It's actually a sunny day. And yeah, so you head up the river. The river is pretty calm today. Because there hasn't been a lot of rain in the last few days, so the river's sort of calm and it's okay. So doesn't have a very, because it's a deep river, it doesn't have a very strong downward current. So you're able to go up the river pretty easily.
Is there
Now,
fish
you
in
go-
this river?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of aquatic beings.
So yeah, Varric is going to lay on his belly on the right side of the boat and just randomly shoving his hand into the water, trying to grab fish as they swim by the boat.
Get it. You almost got
Okay.
that one. Oh, try again.
Roll me a survival.
Right there. Mint's just going to be like excitedly calling out, there comes another one.
17.
Oh, yeah. So you're able to snatch a fish out of the water.
Just toss it over to Mint. Keep grabbing.
He's
Okay,
gonna
cool.
just
So
like
you're just
pop
gonna
it on the head.
Keep grabbing that, bop it on the head.
I'll say, as I'm hearing Mint's hollering there, encouraging Varric, I was going to look down because I'm assuming they're probably like, what is like one deck below, so to speak, like one platform lower or whatever.
Right.
Okay, and like how tall the catamaran
there's like an upper deck.
Yeah.
And then you literally can just go down. You can bend down, and there's a secondary area that you would see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I just looked down. I see them just shaking heads, and I'm like, quiet down. Trying to take a nap here.
Okay.
You'll thank me later.
I can only imagine what Mint will do with fish bones. I
Probably
can
make a
only
necklace.
imagine. All right, so Bellinor, what are you up to?
He's just kind of sitting over the boat, just watching them fish, I guess, just laughing because that's a very unconventional way to fish, but it's somehow working. I mean,
Just
he's
amazed.
probably
He's like, wow.
very impressed. Yeah.
Like, wow. Well done. Well done there, my big fellow. I love it. Okay, so let's go to the horse boat. So you're on the boat with the horses. The horses seem to be fine. Like I said, the river is really calm, so they're attached to the boat in front, so they're connected and going along. What are you doing back there, Willow?
I'm just petting on them and talking to them and figuring out which one I want to ride.
Okay, cool. I need you to do a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Dirty 20.
Okay. With horses, although they are fine, they're calm, they're not upset or anything. They are, however, getting very sick because of the motion of the boats. So you happen to like dodge out of the way as one of the horses projectile vomits. Then when that one vomits, it sort of sets off a chain reaction amongst the horses. And you
Thanks,
start
Will.
luck of the roll, or should I say luck of the roll? Or it's literally, I was like, oh God, this is not going to be. Sorry. Yeah. So it begins to come out of both ends. So it's getting pretty deep over on your boat, so to speak. Luckily, your boat is more open to the air as opposed. There is a sort of canopy over you, but for the most part, it's open on all sides. So you're not in the smell of it isn't like you're not encased in it, but it is starting to get very, very gross in the back.
Aww.
But you haven't gotten anything on you, so that's good.
I'm just calming them as best I can.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So as you guys continue up the river, probably, Varric, you've probably gotten quite a bit of fish out of this river at this point. Probably a nice pile of them are sitting on the deck at this point. So what are you doing with all these fish?
Going through.
Better not waste them.
Yeah, fish by fish, deboning them, tossing the bones, putting the fish into a satchel that I have on my side.
Okay.
Just a big old bag of fish meat.
Okay. That's great.
I bet that smells good.
And as the fish bones like fly over his shoulder as he's tossing him, you just see a little green hand like grabbing him.
Yep, here you go. Hup, hup.
Cool. So as the boat goes, the day passes. The captain of the boat is sort of like, "Oh, we'll be at the drop-off point pretty soon." He'll tell you once they drop you off there, then it's about a half a day's, not even half a day's, quarter of a day, an eighth of a day's journey to the base of the mountain, where you can either leave your horses or you can send them back, and they'll come right back to the boat. But that'll be up to you, because they'll hang out here for until you get back. Basically, they're going to set up a camp down here. So yeah. So you guys get to the point where the boat docks. They sort of pull off to the side. They tie up. They help you guys off with you and your gear, as the folks in the horse boat are escorting the horses off the boat, letting them go through into the river to sort of clean off, let them kind of refresh themselves. And then they'll come up, bring them up onto the shore, and let them sit as they set up their base camp there, and let the horses sort of like dry off a bit before you saddle them up. So yeah. So what do you guys do to prepare before you head up towards the mountain? At this point, and I'll describe your location. The location you have is it's a small clearing. Looks like has been cleared by previous folks. You can see that there are signs of camping here, people sort of setting up camps. And they sort of set up a camp here. But once you go beyond this clearing, the forest here is a lot darker. It's sort of like if we had to go somewhere like Mirkwood, Lord of the Rings. That's sort of dark and kind of, it almost feels ill. Like, it's not dead by any means, but it just feels kind of so. But yeah, and it feels like and when you're there, and as you're there, it always feels like someone's watching you. That sort of thing.
Beware the ants.
Mint would find it very hard to go to the restroom here.
When Mint says that, I just look at him, it just like shakes my head hearing that.
Are we supposed to respond to that? I don't. How do you answer something like that?
Mint just feels as though there's eyes watching. It's hard to go and do my business when it feels like people are watching.
You get used to it.
I was supposed to say, I feel as though someone's always watching. It doesn't matter where you are or what you do. Someone is watching.
Oh, God.
I say, you don't know the half of it.
Varric is standing off by his horse, actively going to the bathroom. Like, you guys saying something? What's going on back there?
Now, I will also, you all sort of perceive the horses are very uneasy here. They're not to the point where they're like, I'm not going in there, but it's sort of like you can see the whites of their eyes are very much showing, and they're sort of showing some erratic behavior. And like I said, not like they won't go in, but just sort of like, oh, this place gives me the creeps. type of thing.
Could I
So-
try animal handling on the horse I'm going to ride?
Sure.
Nat 20, 23.
Oh yeah. You walk. I mean, when you walk up to the horse is so it just immediately calms. It like nuzzles you a little bit, showing that it fully trusts you. Yeah, and it's very much like it'll let you put the saddle on and everything.
That's like,
Awesome.
Mint
Guys-
isn't so sure if people are watching all the time, or else they would have said not to use the poison ivy when Mint thought he was grabbing Mullen.
wait, grabbing
That's
one
good.
star. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Did you say grabbing Mullen?
Yeah, nature's
Oh,
toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I just want to make sure I heard that right.
But
Some
we grab
people,
poison ivy instead. Nice.
some people are a bit cruel, and they would enjoy watching you suffer through that.
I am not one of those, of course.
Those tend to be the people that are always watching, though.
Bella, you would tell me if I was grabbing poison ivy, right?
Depends on the day.
Leaves of 3, let it be.
I want to roll real quick, see if how I would. No. Well, I was going to roll for the animal handling because this is different. I want to roll to see if Kira would tell Mint or not. I was going to roll.
Okay.
And let me do a percentile for this. Hey, Christian, since it's involving your character, high or low?
Let's go with high.
That's 100. So yeah, Kieran honestly would actually tell Mint then, I guess. He was like, okay, yeah, I will.
Sure. I'll make sure that you do.
But now for the animal handling, though, for my horse. 12?
No, you're okay. Your horse is like totally accepting of you, but your horse is probably a little more skittish and a little more restless.
Yeah.
And not necessarily because of you. It's just like you're not calming it as best as you can because it's really on edge.
Yeah.
But again, it's not to the point where it's going to run away or anything like that. It's just very much like, okay, something's not right. Okay. Eleanor, you want to do animal handling and see how your horse handles
do
you?
I get any sort of bonus because I've probably used a horse? Like, do I have like a go-to horse?
I don't know. You tell me. Does he?
I mean, I assume he would if he's been here for as long as he has. Like,
Okay, so he
even
probably
to
does.
just get out and get resources for brewing and stuff.
Right. Okay. Well, we can say that it's your horse then. Then you're fine. Then you don't need to roll anything because it's your horse.
Hell yeah.
Mint, do you want to roll see if your mule
Yes.
accepts you?
Yeah. Mint is going to do that. All right. Just animal handling?
Yeah, just animal handling.
Okay.
Just to see if it
15.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your mule is cool as a cucumber.
I want like one of those like mules that's got missing an eye and it's like
It's a very lucky mule. It's
Yeah.
just half a tail.
half of its
one
ears. Like,
gone.
yeah.
They call him Lucky.
Yeah.
It's lucky he's still alive. Okay. Varric, do you want to do animal handling and see how your gigantic ass horse is doing over there?
Sure, yeah. I'm picturing like a draft horse. Just really,
Sure. Yeah,
You know.
like a Clydesdale.
yeah.
It's just like this gigantic thing.
That's a 5.
Ooh, okay. Your horse is a little more uneasy than the others. And I'm going to say that's because your horse probably has a higher intelligence than the other ones. And your horse is very much like, you're idiots if you think we're going in there. So he's a little more reluctant to move forward than the other ones are. But I think if you spend an hour or so with him, I think he'll calm down and you'll be able to get him on your side. But right now he's very much like, nope. He's like pulling from you, that sort of thing. He's not acting in any type of like aggressive behavior, but he is very much like telling you that he does not want to go in there. And neither should you. Like he will literally like grab the edge of your sleeve and try to pull you away from the woods.
Seeing as how he's probably never experienced this behavior with the horse before, this is striking him as kind of odd. It's like, no, we gotta go this way. Gotta go this way.
And it's
like,
very much shaking. Like, nope. It's pulling.
Willow, can you give me a hand, please?
Yeah, it's true.
I
you want
can
to go
try.
over and help?
Yep, that was a 16.
Oh, that's better. Okay, so Willow comes over and kind of touches the horse, and the horse sort of starts to sort of breathe easier and kind of calm down a little bit. Like, okay, looking at you like, all right, I'm going to trust you to not get me killed, or eaten, or both.
Reverse order.
Yeah. Eaten and then killed. So your horse will calm down and he'll get in. He was like, okay. And also all of your mounts will allow you to saddle them and bridle them, or not bridle them, but you know what I mean. So that you guys can prepare yourselves to go into this dark forest to the base of the mountain. So do you guys go immediately, or do you wait a little bit, or what do you do? So you've just gotten off the boat. You've just gotten your horses sort of calmed. The crew that brought you here is setting up their base camp.
How early in the day is it at this point?
It's probably not even like noon yet, because you guys left at dawn.
Yeah.
And it took you about, so if we say like around 6, you got up the river about 7:30-ish in our time.
Yeah.
By the time you got unloaded, it was probably about 8:15, 8:30. So you're still looking at like morning.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the time if you left now, by the time you got to the base of the mountain, it'd be well after noon. Probably like around 2 or 3.
Okay. I mean, at that point, especially since the whole point of Aaron was making with taking the boat was as like, hey, this way we can serve energy. Let's use the energy now to go ahead and get a start.
Okay. So, as a group, what do y'all want to do? Like I said, the crew's setting up base camp. They're not even like worrying about you guys. Y'all can do what you're at this point.
Yeah.
They're just here to pick you up and take you back when you're done.
Yeah. I say it's daylight. The horses are calm. I don't want to go through here at night. So let's go.
Agreed.
Sounds like
okay. All right, so we're loading up and heading out.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So as you sort of saddle up and you head out, as you approach the forest, it does get very cold. Again, the horses are starting to get a little skittish, but there does seem to be what looks more like a game trail than an actual trail that leads sort of through the woods. It's big enough for the horses to make it their way through. You'll have to like dodge some limbs here and there, especially Varric. But for the most part, yes.
Is the trail big enough for us to be in like whatever formation we want to be, or is it like enough for us to be single file on the horses?
Do you want to say it one more time? I'm sorry.
I was saying, Is the trail big enough for like horses to be like side by side or single file? Like how big?
No, you're gonna have to be in a line.
Okay.
It's not quite big enough to be side by side at this point. You may come later on. You might find a much wider area.
Yeah.
Um,
But at that point, Kieran's going to make sure he's in the middle.
Mint will offer to take the front.
okay, Mint's gonna. The donkey will be up front. I love it.
Varric go behind Mint.
Okay, so then it'll be Mint, Varric,
Kieran.
Kieran.
I'll go last.
Okay, so
Alright.
Bellinor and then Willow. Okay.
And
Yes, I see Snars. Ass first, always. So
I mean that's how men likes to eat his food sometimes.
it is indeed. It
But
is indeed.
I was gonna say just the overall environment of the woods kind of help hopefully ease all the animals. I'm gonna pull my lute out, just play like a like a soothing song, like just some music, soothing.
Cool. Roll me a performance check.
Yeah.
Let's see how successful it is at calming.
As a 19.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to sort of, play this sort of soft, I'm assuming, melody. The horses do seem to respond to it. You can tell that they're sort of relaxing a little bit. They're still a little tense because it's so close, and the underbrush is so thick. It's hard to. You can't really see very deep into the forest. Like you could probably only see a couple of feet. So the horses see that, and it kind of sets off their anxiety. But they start to calm down a little bit as you play.
Okay.
So you guys are traveling for probably like half an hour to 45 minutes, give or take. I need you all to roll perceptions for me, please. And if it's lower than your passive, just use your passive.
Oh, my passive because I rolled a nat 1. Passive is 14.
He is playing his instrument, so he's not probably paying much attention.
Yeah, passive is 14 though in that case.
Okay, 14.
18.
18 to Nick. What did you get, Willow?
18.
18.
18.
18. Okay, Bellinor.
I know, Nick.
Just twice.
12.
12. Okay,
Yes.
and Mint.
12 as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it in the chat. That's my bad. Okay, so everyone in the party has this uneasy feeling that they're being watched. But when you look around, you don't see anybody, you don't hear anybody, but you just have this sense that something or someone is watching you as you're traveling down this game trail. Varric and Willow, you could swear you saw something move out of the corners of your eyes. One of you to the left, one of you to the right. You couldn't tell what it was or if it was anything. All you just think you saw something off the sort of just inside the tree line on both sides.
Did anyone else see that? No?
Maybe.
Mint
Maybe.
didn't see anything. Mint just has that poison ivy feeling.
I was like, as I'm still strumming along my lute, when I hear Varric go, anyone else do that, and Willow go, maybe. I'm like, see what?
Movement in the
Okay.
trees.
I did. I thought I did. Not sure.
I don't like. I'm gonna look around and be like, I don't say anything. I'll probably say depending on riding at the point. Kieran's probably not even riding the way he should. He's probably like further back in the saddle, almost like his legs up on one side of the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens, he's gonna get eaten off easily.
It's enough to make me pull my. It's enough to make me ready my bow just in case.
Okay.
And where did you guys see this movement?
Off to the right over here.
And he points one way, and I point the other way.
My hand tightens around my wolf spear. Like, off to the right. Look over. It's like off to the left. Oh crap!
Are you guys sure you're not bullshitting us? Just trying to scare us?
I've hunted in woods similar to these
You
before.
obviously.
I know what I see something.
You obviously don't know me very well.
I mean, we met yesterday?
Okay.
Right. So there's something in the trees, and we're supposed to just keep going now. I guess everyone on high alert.
The horses also seem a little uneasy. They're still moving forward, but they seem a little bit more uneasy. Even though the music is playing, they're very kind of uneasy. What is everybody's passive perception for me real quick?
14.
14,
11.
12.
15.
15.
12.
12. Okay. So you guys continue riding. You still have that sort of feeling. Varric and Willa, you don't see anything else. You know, you look, you don't see anything. But you all still have the feeling that you're being watched. Something is, and Varric and Willow, to you, it feels like something's like following you, or at least that paralleling you. Again, you don't know what it is. It has not come close to you. It feels like it's not way inside, but far inside the tree line. It's intentionally trying to maintain being hidden or out of sight. So as you continue down this sort of game trail, it opens up into a clearing. Not a very big one, but it is enough to bring get everybody up on the same plane if you want to. The trail continues across this sort of little opening. So what do you want to do?
How long have we been going?
Okay, just keep going.
Well, how long have we been going at this point?
Oh, you've only been going for about an hour. So you still got several hours to go.
As we're coming up on this clearing, I kind of looked to everyone. How are we feeling so far? Everyone good? Everyone make it?
Kieran goes to correct how he's sitting on his saddle and puts his loot up, because if it's been about an hour of travel, his fingers are definitely going to be hurting at this point.
Yeah, if you've been playing straight for an hour, yeah.
He would have been that entire first hour, because he probably wasn't even paying attention to how much time had passed, because he was just jamming, so to speak.
Fair.
But it's definitely the whole Stewie Griffin, I got blisters on my fingers moment.
Fair.
So we put the loot up and he's like, besides my hand, I'm good to go.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we've come this far. There's no point in not going further. So
I do not disagree. I'm just making sure that we all, as a consensus, don't want to turn back while we still have our heads on us.
While we still have our heads on us.
Very reassuring.
Oh, okay. It's like
very, very reassuring,
great
Bellinor.
pep talk there, Bellinor. Great pep talk.
Is anybody uncomfortable in the order that we are?
Everyone's good?
Mint, you
All right.
still like leading the charge?
Mint feels very comfortable where he's at.
Right. Then continue we shall.
Cool. Mint, what's your passive again?
It's 12.
12. Okay, cool. That's cool. Can you roll perception for me?
Oh, God,
As you
I'm
guys
gonna die.
as you guys
Probably.
continue into the woods, back into the woods.
No, you guys can see his feet are just dangling and shit, and he's like looking at random crap and like just getting.
He's not paying attention at all.
Yeah, he's just pulling shit off of branches and crap, and just little fucking forest klepto.
Is ADHD like as a persona?
Personified.
Fucking grab shit. Okay, I got an 18.
Okay, so as you enter the woods again, you go another probably about 15, 20 minutes in, and you notice something on the side of the trail. And the trail's gotten a little wider at this point. You notice what looks like the remains of some animal.
Bones. He's gonna point over there and point. It looks like there's a carcass. Mint wonders if we should look at it for reasons.
Can I try to attempt to identify what the animal was, or is it too far gone?
You can do stop guys. You can either do an investigation or a nature check.
Out of curiosity, the way you're describing the woods, it's being very much like Northwood or the either or where the inns were in like near Isengard, like those kind of woods, are very like dark, suffocating, but even though it's light out. Like how dark is that?
Like it's dark. I mean, like the light does not penetrate it that well. I mean, you can see some area. It's light because you can see, but it's like because it's so thick, the undergrowth is so thick, the canopy is so thick, light is not getting through very well. So it's literally is like a dark, dank wood.
Okay, so to kind of help with their searching, I kind of want to, because reach my bag, grab like a rock, because probably would bounce on travel, cast light on it, and just toss it near the carcass, make it easier to see.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so what did you get, Barrett?
He rolled 18.
18. Okay, yeah, you can see several things. One, you can see this looks like what the remains of a very large sort of buck deer, and it's very fresh, like within the hour fresh.
Do I see any like teeth, claws, like arrows?
You don't see any arrows. It does look like. It doesn't look like it was a vicious kill. Like it wasn't like ripped to shreds. It looks almost like the animal was put out of it. It was like humanely killed and then eaten. Parts of it anyway.
He's gonna like instinctually grip his wolf spear and look at as he gets closer and closer to this carcass.
Okay. As you get closer to it, laying on the skull that has been removed, separated, and off to the side, sort of like on the skull, you'll find what looks like a leaf with like a shiny rock holding it onto like the forehead of the skull, like just sitting on it.
Okay, so that was obviously placed there for a reason. And he points this out. He definitely points this out to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Can I have the rock?
Mint doesn't care about the rock, but the horns of this deer. Does anybody want the horns?
Dear John. It's a Dear John letter. Yes. Yes, I see.
Oh,
yes,
Dear John.
Definitely a Dear John letter. This deer it's a suicide note. I can't go on. I'm going to rip myself to shreds.
To shreds, you say? Oh.
So obviously something put this here. Hey, half pound 420, welcome. So Does anybody else want to do any investigation or any of that sort of thing?
Mint wonders if maybe we shouldn't touch it.
It does seem to be rather intentionally placed there. I wouldn't want to disrespect, speaking very loudly, like acting like he's talking to himself, but very clearly talking to if anyone's listening. Like, wouldn't want to disrespect any sort of offering that they might have made here.
Is it possible to investigate the symbol a bit more? Like, maybe you spent some time on it a bit. Maybe I've seen it elsewhere or heard of it elsewhere.
Are there any hunters in the party?
I mean,
Varric's been on a hunt, but he was not a hunter.
Okay.
I was like, Kieran
But
started off as a hunter.
you're familiar with the hunt.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
I said when Kieran first came to Orlea, when he was found in the woods, almost starving, he learned how to hunt from the guy who found him.
Okay.
So yeah, Mint hunts regularly, but he's not a hunter. He's just
I mean, we saw what you did with the squirrel.
But would he? Here's my question to the three of you then.
Mm-hmm.
Would they be familiar with the ways of the forest?
I don't think
he.
I might.
I don't think your Hondo was hearing that. I think it would just been just survival, like what berries to pick, what fruits to pick, how to get a clean kill and how to meat properly. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mint is more of a hunter out of survival. Like he hunts small game and stuff, and then for the creature that he helped earlier in his life, he hunted for that, but he didn't really. He's not like trained in the ways of the forest or anything.
Well,
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
Varric
am a
definitely-
druid, so
I will let any of you guys who feels like you might know what this is. I'll let you roll either a nature or a history check. Welcome, Immersive Encounters. Thanks for stopping by. Super excited.
I'll roll history just because, again, just maybe I saw this in one of my travels. Maybe.
Okay.
Rolled a 5.
I rolled a 9.
I rolled a
That's
16.
funny. The two characters I thought would roll highest. So they rolled the lowest.
Well, here's my +1, and I rolled a 16 overall.
Okay, so 16. So the three of you. All right. So Varric, it's not familiar to you, whatever this particular thing is. Willow, you've never seen anything like this either. I mean, most of the things, and when I say that, and I'll even with Varric as well, because with a kill, usually you take everything and you use everything. Same way with like druids, if they're gonna kill or whatever, then they would use the whole animal.
Right.
Kieran, this seems like something you've seen before in the deep woods, where like nobody goes. It's like very few people go to the deep woods, and the only thing that you can kind of associate this with is like an offering. Like, I take your life and I offer you this type of thing.
All right, so not like an offering to anything in particular.
No, it's literally like a thank you for
gift.
giving your life so that I can have life as well.
Yeah,
That sort of thing.
yeah.
And that's why the part of the carcass is left so that other animals can also live off of it.
Yeah, the circle of life, essentially. They kind of go off. I see some comment there. It's not wrong.
I offer you a deer, John. Deer being the operative word there. Yeah. So you do recognize this as sort of like you've seen this before in sort of in the deeper woods. You have no idea who or what does it. You just know that this is sort of like a, you give me this and I offer this to the forest deities or whoever.
Yeah.
you know, to sort of ease your pain into the next life or ease yourself into the next life. That sort of thing.
Yeah. So at that point, entrepreneur goes, like, oh, probably shouldn't, touch it because, as Varric looking around, going, in case anyone's left it here, I'm going to chime in and going like, oh no, it was left there for a reason, and I'll explain the reason. And I will still say, to the best of my knowledge,
Right.
I'll relay that information. It's just a way of thanking, nature and what it gives, but also what the give and take of nature.
Okay. So, what do you guys decide to do? As you're all sort of off and standing around the remains of this animal.
I say keep riding.
Okay. So don't disturb the carcass.
Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So you guys.
Yeah. All I'm going to do is I'm going to like turn off the light cantrip on the rock I tossed near it to make it easier.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So everyone's going to keep moving forward. Okay. So you guys get back on your horses and you continue down the trail. You still have that eerie feeling, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't feel threatening by any means. It just feels like weird. Just something's there watching you, but you can't see what's watching you. That's just creepy. As you go for another hour or so, with no incidents whatsoever, all your passives will do this. You will suddenly hear a loud break, like something like wood break, just massive, and it just echoes through the forest. Just snap. And it seems to be coming sort of to your front, off to your right a little bit. It sounded just massive, whatever it was.
Even though there was an echo, is there a way to tell, like, was it like when we heard the echo, like when we heard it, were we hearing it as a distant echo, or was it like close and then echoed? Or anywhere
like close and then echo.
Okay.
It's probably a good 100 yards up the trail.
Okay, never mind. I was going to take another rock, cast light, and toss it, but I don't think I'll be able to toss it even, well, hold on, 100 yards, 300 feet. Yeah, I would not be able to toss it even more close for 20 feet to be effective.
Okay, so what do you guys do? I mean, the horses are very uneasy. They hear that, and they're very restless.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just pat my horse, just going, easy, and then depending on whether the horse is, male or female, like easy boy, easy girl, is like, kind of like rub the side of its neck.
Okay. Your horse is female, by the way.
Okay. So I'll be like, easy girls. I'm just like trying to calm her down.
Okay. All right. They're still moving forward. They're not stopping. They did stop for a second when the break happened, and then they're ready to move forward.
I think Varric's going to have. He usually has, when he's on the horse, he has his spear down by his side, kind of like attached to the saddle. He has his spear across his lap, one hand on the saddle, one hand on the spear, as he just laser vision trying to see what's going in front of us.
Laser. You can roll perception for me. I'll even let you roll it with advantage because you're hyper focused.
Thank you. That was actually worse. So I'll take the first one.
I hate this.
Yay! My bad luck's not on me tonight.
I'm sorry. What was it? 8?
It was an 8.
Oh, an 8? Yeah, you're not seeing anything. It's not that because you can't. It's just like it's dark up ahead. I mean, like it's shadowy, and you can see sort of like when your eyes play tricks on you, you see shadows moving that aren't really moving, but because of the light, you're kind of seeing that, but you're not seeing anything really. Do you guys keep moving forward? Okay. So you guys keep moving forward. Again, the horses are moving slow at this point because they are on alert. You can see their ears are very much like on alert. As you travel like literally up this trail, and you come across in the middle of the trail is this large X And it's literally 2 trees that have been laid across in a large X.
Are they
Across.
laying on the ground across the road, or are they like?
No,
propped up?
they're like up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's who's gonna give it to us.
God damn it, Nick.
Has Varric had seen anything like this before, or this is all brand new?
You can roll a nature or history check and see.
Everything.
Anybody
you
can
keep
roll
picking the
that.
things I have
Anybody
plus
will-
0 in. That's
Sorry.
that's a 3. Okay.
I'm rolling with those 3.
You know what, Varric? I'll let you roll.
I got an
survival.
11 that time.
It's
I'm
fine.
18 history.
An 11.
I swear, I'm gonna change my dice. I swear to God, that's got a 5.
Oh wow!
Oh.
It's just not-
Hey, I'm
Oh my
glad.
gosh.
Nick, do not think wrong, but I'm glad I'm not the one rolling because that's normally
you are rolling very well, but now that you've said something, so you said you rolled an 18
for history. Yes.
Okay. Who did anybody else roll 11? I know Willa, you got an
20.
11. 20.
None.
Bella,
Not,
did you roll?
not-
Or you're
I got
just
a
like
2.
a 2. Wow, you guys are rolling really crappy tonight. All right, so again, Kieran recognizes these sort of wood structures. He's seen them before. Don't know who puts them there. Don't know anything. Also, if anybody wants to investigate them, you can roll investigation just to sort of look at them, check them out. But he has seen these before, in the deep woods, and usually it's a sense of
Much better.
like not a warning necessarily, but a hey, you're in our territory type of thing.
I just rolled a
Right, what did you get
17
on
investigation.
17. What did
Natural
you
1 for a total of 5.
get? Wow. You are not used to being out in the woods, Bellamar.
This is not his
Definitely
speed.
not his area. Okay, so all right, cool. So everybody else, when you guys are looking at this tree structure, these trees that are forming this X look like they have been ripped out of the ground and just leaned against each other to form this X.
Just ripped up.
Yeah, ripped. And we're talking about a tree about
How-
bigger around.
Hmm.
Oh, it's like a sapling, not like a full grown.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a full tree. I mean it's like, but it's a good. I mean it's a good 12-inch diameter. I mean it's a big tree. It's not
Okay.
like a sapling. It's a big tree.
Okay. I was gonna say, as they're investigating, we'll be like, okay, maybe we should be a little more careful. That essentially means we're in our turf. Now, as to who put it there, no idea. But might want to be more on guard now.
You say that like we haven't been on guard the whole time, but
The
I
whole
digress.
Exactly.
Hold on. As
We're
Belner says that,
extra on guard.
Belner says that, I'm just going to go like, wait, we've been on guard the whole time?
Where have you been?
Loot, calming, horses.
But not paying attention.
Right.
Pretty much. Remember when we rolled perceptions earlier? I was rolling shit.
That
It
is
wasn't-
true. You were absolutely. All right. So do you guys keep going? You can actually go like underneath the lowest sort of chevron there. The horses
Yeah.
will pass right through it, or right under it.
What,
I
in
mean,
America?
Varric, you'll probably have to like really duck. but-
Kind of hug my horse.
yeah, I was like, okay.
Ask about the Varric dismounting, going under, then mounting.
Yeah, get off, go underneath, get back on.
Be nice to it. Yeah.
Okay, so who are we still in the same order?
I would say so.
So is it Mint? Is it Mint? Varric, Kieran,
Belnor Willow.
and then Willow. Okay.
Yep.
Willow, roll a perception check for me.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So as you're cross underneath you're the last one to cross under and kind of go back. You just, out of curiosity, you look back for a second to look at it. And there in the distance, standing in the trail, is a creature. Huge bipedal creature standing in the middle of the trail. And then it literally one step and it's in the woods and disappears.
Oh, it's like Sasquatch. Guys, there's definitely something back there and it's big. I saw it for a second.
You could tell from the distance you were at, you could tell it's like 7 or 8 feet tall. Massive.
I will relay that to them.
Okay. All right.
Being
so
from around this area, do I know any stories of any large creatures that haunt these woods?
roll a history check.
I was like, can I as well, just because traveling bard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Anybody can if you want to. These rolls are open to anybody.
Nope, that's a 6.
A good roll. That's a 19.
Ooh, 21.
Okay, 19 is one.
21.
7.
Something triggered something in my brain. See,
I was like, the first. Oh, Lisa, out there. How long was Willow in town before we all met up? Like 3 days?
about 5 days. 5 days, yeah.
I love how the person who was there for 5 days recalls something more than the person from a month.
That's fair.
I love that.
Well, maybe I've run across it in
Oh,
another.
no, I'm not saying
deep,
anything bad.
dark
I'm just saying it's funny.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not saying anything against it. It's funny.
Okay, so
yeah.
With Willow, there are like legends, myths in the druid communities of like the Kushka, which is a large, like humanoid, sort of hairy creature that lives in the deep woods. For the most part, they are not a danger. You've never heard of anyone being like attacked by a Kushka. But they are very territorial. Like they will not necessarily attack you, but they will try to get you to leave. That sort of thing. Bellinor, you have heard you have heard like farmers and hunters that would come into the bar and talk about encountering what the locals call a yana. Again, which is like a bipedal sort of tall creature covered in fur, that sort of thing. And again, the stories that you get in Mediterraneus are much more aggressive than like the druids get. The druids are very much like they're their own. They're like their own tribe. They just want people to leave them alone, that sort of thing. And now we don't know how much the stories are embellished in Mediterraneus when they come in and they're like, oh, there's these things. They're called we call them yanas, and they're aggressive and they kill our goats and they do all this thing. You hear these sort of aggressive stories about them. No one's ever actually seen one in person, like up close, but they have seen them from a distance, or at least they say they have. So those are the two things that y'all know.
I like to think at the same time he says it's a yana and I say it's a kushka.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the Kushka people, and then the Ayana. Like the Kushka are a tribe. They're known as the Kushka people, which translates to like giants, like giant hairy man, basically. Yana is sort of a derogatory word for something I don't understand.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Okay. So you guys relay this information to the party?
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably simultaneously just spewing out information. It's totally not adding up.
That's fair. So okay.
Especially with you two, like you said, here in one point, I was going to go like, what's a kuyana? Just merging with two words.
Kuyana.
Where you two are like overlapping each other.
Okay. So he's asking you, what is it?
From the stories I've heard, it's
Regaled him.
a large creature. I don't want to say animal or humanoid, but a large creature that seems to eat people's livestock, seems to haunt and terrify people. I just know. I heard it's can be quite aggressive if we are spotted by it.
Really? The stories I've heard are quite different. They're actually very passive but territorial. They just want you to leave them alone. I've never heard of anyone being attacked by a kushka.
So is a Yana and a Kushka two different creatures, or do we think they're the same?
Don't know. Never heard of a yana.
I've never heard of whatever the hell that word you said was.
Kushka.
Kushka.
I feel like that's a name for your bosom.
For your bosom. These Kushkas.
I'll just give him a look like, seriously?
I'm like both, because I'm trying to do a person, but Kieran's going to, like, when he hears Bellinor describe that, I'm just going to start busting out laughing.
So, okay. So,
in any case, they obviously don't want us here, so go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, going.
I was going to say, in any case, they obviously don't want us here. They've tried to warn us away. We have to get through here, so why don't we get through here as quickly as we can and maybe get out of their territory? Just a suggestion.
Agreed.
Okay. So you guys keep moving. So as you guys move, keep moving. You will get a sense again of something watching you. You will hear every so often. You'll hear like limb breaks, very loud breaks. You will see rocks thrown onto the trail from the woods. Not at you. It's always in front of you, or you'll hear wood knocks. You'll hear hoops and holler and sort of things off in the distance. And it does sort of have that feel of, we see you and we'd like you to leave now sort of feeling.
I said, how are the horses reacting to all this?
The horses are not liking this at all. They're starting to get agitated and they're starting to move quickly. Mint's his donkey will bolt. Like just off he goes. You'll see Mint and his mule just booking it.
Oh, hells. He kicks the sides, tries to keep up after him.
Okay, you guys go. And does everybody try to keep up?
I mean, gonna have to at this point. We don't want to get here.
Don't separate the party this early in.
Well, we're gonna say the reason I think that is, especially because, as far as the whole party's concerned, we don't know if these are Kushka or Yana.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, do we really want to test that theory?
That is true.
One's docile, just territorial, or one can possibly rip the flesh off our bones.
Fair. All right, so you guys will get to the end of the trail to the base of the mountain. When you get to the base of the mountain, it sort of opens up into another clearing, and then it just goes right into the sort of the craggy side of the mountain. You can see there's a place here that you can actually tie the horses up, or again, you can let them go, and they'll head right back to the boat. It's up to you guys. Just know that if you leave them here, they're going to be here for a day or so. So you're going to need to leave them food and water.
Yeah, I'd say I would just go ahead and let them head back to the base camp.
Okay.
Same.
Cool. All right. Mint,
So
you
I'm
two,
going
you gonna let
to
your donkey
take
go?
a leaf.
Take a
I'm going to
leaf.
take a leaf and I'm going to take some of my shiny rocks and put them on the leaf and put it in the middle of the trail where we came out.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you guys let the horses go, and the horses will book it down the trail, heading back to the camp. And just so you all know, the horses get back to the camp without incident.
Yeah.
Good.
So at this point, it's probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock as you prepare to ascend. And it's not so steep at the beginning. It's pretty, looks like pretty easy to get up this sort of mountainside. You can see sort of like natural paths that, created where you can climb. You don't have to do too much actual climbing. You can actually do some walking up before you have to start climbing.
So looking up, do I see any dragons flying around up there?
No, it's too, there's a cloud, there's a mist cloud about mid mountain.
That was going to be my question.
Okay.
But never mind.
No, you can't see anything coming and going to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You can, if you can roll perception. Let's see if you can hear anything.
Yeah. It's a 12.
12. Okay.
15.
All you gotta do is beat a 10. Okay.
12.
12. Anybody else want to roll?
Natural 1 for a total of 3.
Good Lord, Aaron, what is going on?
He's too worried about his bar.
Fair enough. He's so preoccupied. What did Mint get? I'm sorry.
The 12.
Oh, cool. So yeah, as you're all standing at the base, sort of looking up, you can hear dragons up above the sort of clouds. You can hear them. You can't see them, but you can definitely hear them coming and going. So what do y'all do?
What time of day is it again?
It's about 10:30, 11
PM?
It's almost,
Or
yeah,
A-
it's all AM. It's almost lunchtime.
Oh, okay. Varric is going to look up at the trail going up and just reach into his satchel and pull out just a handful of deboned fish and just start eating it.
Sushi. Nice.
Raw?
Ooh, that's gonna be good on the Constitution.
He turns to Bellinor and is like, Kind of offers him some.
So he's gonna offer Bellinor some raw fish.
I want to eat it now. Or after a few days, it starts smelling kind of funny.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So did you guys want to set up a small sort of camp and eat before you head up?
Yeah, I was
Or
say
you
taking
want to
like
just head straight up?
I was taking like a break probably would be a bad idea. But preferably something that's not raw. I'm going to take a step away from Varric. I'm pretty sure I've been in his bag for the past 4 hours.
That fish
And
is there.
And it's probably like what? Like you average like spring temperatures?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
probably
already
sick, like 72, 73.
Oh yeah, that's already got to be wrong in terms of snow.
What's really good is if you dig a hole and put this in the hole and let it sit for a couple of months, it ferments. Oh, that tastes amazing. It's like a jelly. Another handful of fish.
I will take your word for it.
Okay.
Loot fish.
Ugh, fish jam. Ugh. All right. So what do y'all want to do?
Like I said, I'm game for us taking having a party.
I say we set up a cold camp, like no fire, just
Okay.
Yep.
My-
Just sort of like rest up and then like for an hour or so and then head up. Okay, cool. All right, so you set up a cold camp. There, you guys have like edible rations. Like you have food supplies, so that's not rotty raw fish. I mean, you do have like meats and cheeses and breads and things of that nature, meads, wines. To keep yourselves, just to give yourselves some sustenance before you head up the mountain. As you're sitting there, it's very uneventful. Nothing. You don't even really have that sense of being watched anymore. And if you do, it's more like you've kind of gotten used to it, so it's not even that big of a deal anymore. You don't. So, but you will notice. Is anybody proficient in nature here? I know Willow, you are. I'm assuming. So I would assume so.
Actually, I'm not. Survival.
Really? Oh wow!
Not nature.
Remember, even Roman wasn't proficient in nature. Remember?
Oh, that's true. Which is so weird. I was just like, as a druid, you would think you'd want to be proficient in nature.
Yeah, but Roman was rogue then druid.
Well, that's true. That is true. That makes sense. So, okay. Then anybody and everybody can just roll me a nature check.
Roll again.
Okay, Bellinor, you cannot roll a 1.
7.
7. 6. 6. Wow.
6.
Is
Okay.
the non
All right, Nick, we gotta stop this.
Is the non-outdoorsy guy going to roll the best?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What did you get?
There you go.
Oh, I had 12.
12. Okay. So we'll go to Bellinor, and we'll attribute this to the idea of having to really kind of know your weather and seasons and things of that for when you're like brewing. As you're sitting there, you do know that you can feel it in the air that the weather is about to shift. It's about to start probably raining within the next hour or so. So you probably don't want to be here when that happens.
Yeah. So I'll tell everybody that. I'm like, it appears that we're going to get rained on here soon. We better get moving, like, quickly, rapidly.
Probably to
other
find
words for
shelter up on
fast.
the mountain. You probably want to try to look for shelter on the mountain.
Does anybody have anything to build us, like, tents or anything? Or we can look up for caves or something up on the mountain? I don't know. I don't do this exploring thing. That's more your guys' speed than mine.
Roll on his back and hold a tent.
Do what?
I don't know. I was saying when he was asked, do you have anyone here have anything to build shelter with, like, in case we can't find cave? Because all I have is stat like tent.
Does anybody have a tent? You probably don't have tents.
Well, you know what I mean.
You'd probably be able to make like a lean-to, but you don't have like a. Your best bet is to find like a rock overhang or a cave or shallow cave.
Yeah, my point was Kieran doesn't bring stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
All right, let's hit it.
So up the mountain you go. Okay. Willow, roll me a perception check real quick.
$24.
As you're gathering up your things to head up the mountain, people starting to head up the mountain, you notice that the leaf and the rocks that you left are gone. But there's something in its place.
That'll make me smile.
There's something in its place.
Let me go look.
Okay. When you go over, you'll find what looks like an antler, like a deer's antler.
Oh. I will pick it up and I will kind of bow towards the woods.
And for a brief moment, you can see one of them standing in front of you in the wood line. For a brief moment. And then it just slowly just vanishes behind a tree and then is gone. And it's huge. It was huge, like almost intimidatingly so. Like it could have like broke you in half easily if it wanted to. But it literally, it was just sort of you made eye contact for a moment, and then it literally just sort of disappeared into the shadows of the forest. And then that's it. And then it goes quiet, as if, well, not quiet, but normal forest sounds begin, and as if nothing. As the others are starting to head up the mountain, so what do you do?
I will tie the antler to my side so I can carry it with me.
Okay.
Might come in handy if Mitt doesn't take it.
Careful, he might. He's a sneaky little bugger. All right, so who leads the pack up the mountain? Varric?
I'll do it.
Would make sense because he's the mountain man. Cool. Who's and then who is it? So it'll be Varric.
Mint will go
I'm
behind
assuming.
Yeah.
Then Kieran again.
Yeah, I'll still take the middle.
Or Willow. Because it'll be that way. You guys will be
I'll go last
behind
together.
each other. Okay. For a little while, because it's going to be they're going to be narrow paths going up. So everyone roll survival for me, please, as you're in the first half hour of your ascent.
11.
Okay.
16.
16.
16.
Nick.
Did you in our game Friday?
Oh, it's cracking me up.
Bellinor?
4.
4?
He just does not want to be here.
Does not want to be here.
He's thinking too much about his bar.
Mint, what'd you get?
11.
11. Okay. Other than everyone's doing okay in this terrain. And Nick, when we're in the mountains, you can roll with advantage, by the way, because this is like home to you. This is easy for you. So if you want to roll it again to see if you get a higher number, that's cool.
I didn't.
Okay, cool. All right. So Bellinor, however, is really having a hard time of it. I mean, he's starting to lag behind, which is pushing Willow behind. And so now we've sort of got a large sort of area between Kieran and Bellinor, sort of a large opening now. As he's just sort of like, oh, God, you guys, this is crazy. Why are we doing this? Why did I say I would come to this?
Just breathe. Don't fight it. The air will be there.
The air, what? Air is just going to appear? What?
I could just see him regretting every decision he's ever made at this point.
I'd like to go home now. Have we made it?
Are we there yet?
I'm going to turn, and especially when I notice how Bellinor is, it's probably like what, 5-10 feet away from me now.
No, he's probably more like 15-20.
Okay, I know like how early I would notice him falling behind.
Oh yeah, the three of you are trucking it up this trail pretty easily. You're following Varric, who is just like you're following his every step.
Yeah,
he's like walking up this mountain like he lives here.
When I turn back and see Bellinor being like 20 feet, I turn around. I was like, "Hey, just think there might be a new ingredient for your brews at the top of the mountain."
If this is the work that it takes to get it, I am not worried about it.
I was like, I don't want it.
After all, never mind.
It's like, no, you don't understand. Willow, what about you? What do you do? I mean, he's literally causing you guys to fall behind.
I'm
Not
encouraging
intentionally.
him.
You can see that he is very like this is not his element.
Can I cast guidance on him?
Sure. Yeah.
Does that mean I get to add a D4 to that roll?
Yeah. What does he get with that? If you want to share it with everybody.
He for an ability check, he gets to roll a D4 to one ability check of his choice.
Okay.
All right. I'll roll
So
the
you wanna
D4 to add it to that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
So I'm just giving him a good pep talk. Come on, you can do it.
I love it. Okay.
And actually, to kind of play off that, because I forgot this first time playing Bard. So I'm actually going to pull out what I have on me right now.
That was a 1 on the D4, by the way.
I knew it. I knew you were going to roll a 1. I think he's going to roll a 1. Watch.
I'm
He'll
just saying,
roll a 1.
And I may pull the bagpipes out for this. I want to loot. So I can pull a loot out real quick and start doing a little tune about how, it's like kind of like the whole, come on, Bellinor, you can do it, rah, rah, rah type song. And give a bardic inspiration to him, which is a D6.
Oh, okay. So now you can roll. Do not roll a 1 on the D6.
Okay, that's a 5. That brings my total to 10.
Yay! All right. So the pep talks are working. He's like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. And he goes to catch up, and Willow and him catch up with the rest of the group. So as you guys are climbing, then the rain starts to sprinkle a bit. The rain is starting to hit. Varric, and I'm going to let you know this, that being where you are on this sort of path is a bad place to be when the rain falls. So I think at this point, he's going to look for somewhere for them to kind of get out of the rain. So roll me a perception or survival. I'll let you decide which.
They're
If it's
both
with
plus
advantage.
1, so that's 13.
Okay. So as you're the rain begins to fall a little harder, and you're like saying, hey guys, we got to get going. You will see where the trail sort of plateaus off a little bit up ahead. And what looks like a cave, basically, is kind of off of the trail.
I'll point to it. Like,
okay.
There, we can take shelter there. We got to hurry before the rain gets stronger.
Okay. Everybody, he says that down to everybody. Everybody, I'm assuming is like, yeah, that's good.
Come on, Bellinor.
You want me to move
Knees to
faster
chest,
than I
Bellinor,
am?
knees to chest.
I just barely got here.
No, I'm just going to go at that move faster before I write a song about how terrible of a climber you are.
Oh, that's funny. An ode
You
to
can be
Bellinor.
miserable or you can be wet and miserable.
That's actually pretty decent motivation.
Yeah, probably better than mine.
Okay, so you guys will all get to that plateau area. You will see that there is a large cave entrance there. It looks pretty deep. Like you can go inside and stay very dry. And actually, you could probably build a fire and stay warm as well, because as the rain comes in, the temperature begins to drop. So where it was like a 70s, in the 70s, it's going to drop into like the 50s, maybe even like high 40s. It's going to get pretty cold.
Does this cave, are there any tracks or does it look like anything lives here?
You can roll a survival check and see.
I was going to ask if I can use perception. Mint has dark vision, so he's going to go in and
look around.
Yeah, look around.
9.
You don't see any track. It doesn't look like anything's been using this cave recently. You might see a few, like footprint-ish things, but it's been a long time since something's been in here. Mint, what are you looking for specifically? Are you just sort of seeing what's in here?
If anything else is, yeah, like if there's another creature or anything, signs of something that, like an
Okay.
animal.
Roll me a perception with advantage.
Okay.
Don't disturb the bats.
I mean, if we start a
Don't-
fire, that happen
Don't
anyway.
poke the bear.
16.
You don't see any other creatures in here. You don't see any other animals of any kind, humanoid or otherwise.
All
It
right.
seems to be like empty for the most part. I mean, honestly, it does go further back. You do see that the cave goes on. This front chamber, there's sort of a front chamber, and then there's sort of like what looks like a secondary, like not necessarily like a hallway, but basically like a tunnel that goes off the back of it.
Mint will say to the party, perhaps we should build a fire further inside the cave.
And I was going to chime in, going like, I don't care where we build it. It's getting colder than Zabalba.
And you're all wet.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's going to build the fire? Yay, Varric's going to build a fire. Roll me a performance check.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That's a 13.
All right. Yeah. You're able to start a fire. There are some various wood pieces like limbs that have, that sort of right inside the cave there that have either something has put them there in the past or they just whatever. So you're able to start a fire. And if you build it further back in the cave, and it warms the place up pretty well. So everyone kind of starts to get warm.
well, I was going to say too, as far as being made, it's going to help speed it along, at least here in presentation. Because that way, that does work, right?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I was going to use presentation on my clothes again.
Yeah,
Make myself
you can make yourself. Yeah, that's fine.
As all that's happening, I'm going to walk up to Mint and kind of pat him on the shoulder and bend down, squat down next to him. Just be like, how would you feel about going farther in the cave and just seeing what's down there?
All right.
I will cast. I'll pat him on the back and like the big piece, the skull that he has as armor. I'm casting light on, so he's just this bright, glowing light.
He just starts glowing. Okay.
I'll follow a good like 30 feet behind him.
Okay. So Mint's off he goes into the tunnel, and you're going to follow behind. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the rest of you doing? So Varric, you're tending the fire. What about Kieran and Willow?
As I'm standing by the fire, staying warm.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
me
totally-
too. Me too.
Because as you guys are there, and then immediately the deluge happens. It just downpours, and Varric's very much like, we're not going anywhere for a little while until the rain ends. It would be suicide going out. He knows that, and everyone's going to be like, "Yep, we believe you." All right, so Mint heading down the tunnel. Roll me perception check.
Okay.
All right. Natural 20 for a 22.
Hey,
Perfect. So you still see him pretty well. He hasn't gotten too far ahead of you.
12.
12. And as you're going, you're just looking. The walls look like old. There's like cobwebbing on them. It's like this. It doesn't look like this tunnel's been used in a long, long time. Like no one's been down here in a long time. Bellinor, the same thing. As you kind of see him passing down and through, you can see that. Yeah, there's cobwebs hanging down. You're having to like kind of brush them out of the way. Eventually, though, Mint, you see Mint kind of he gets a little further ahead of you than normal, and then you suddenly see, you can see him kind of like down this tunnel, as fast as his little legs will take him, and then you suddenly see him stop.
Mint,
What do you do?
Are you okay up there, friend?
So
Kind of lightly jogging after him.
Right. So why Mint stops? Mint comes to what looks like a large stone doorway. Big, massive stone door. There's no handle on it. There's no lock system on it, but you can tell that it's a door because it has this really ornate sort of door frame around it. It looks old, very old.
How big are we talking?
Oh, this like Varric could walk upright through it and still have plenty over his head.
Is there any writing or anything like that?
There is.
What
is on the what you see is what almost looks like what we know in the real world as cuneiform writing or marks.
Can he read it already?
No.
Okay.
I was like, but I had to think for a second. I was like, well, wait a minute. No. I was thinking because he's a goblin. I was like, oh, maybe, but then I was like, no, you can't.
Okay.
What languages does he understand or speak?
Goblin, Draconic, and Common.
Oh yeah, no.
He'll kind of look at it, and he just kind of looks back at Belnor, and he'll just kind of say, it's a big door."
Well, right. What can I read the writing on the door?
What languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Deep Speech.
Yeah, you can read it.
What does it say?
It says, and here I'm going to post it in our private chat, and I'll post it in Twitch as well, so that folks watching can also. Here's private chat. And I'll go to Twitch so people here can see it here as well. Let me see. Okay.
That's a big message.
It is indeed.
Mint wonders if while you're reading that, whatever it is, can you turn off the light on my person?
He'll look down and be like, right, I kind of forgot I did that. And he'll just snap and it'll go away. You did well, friend. I'm glad I sent you down on this excursion.
So,
Anytime.
so it says, and you can't really see it very well, but the top line says Sylvan Mischance. And then it looks almost like a poem. And it reads thusly. In shadows old where secrets hide, a puzzle whispers, a pathway wide. Between the stones of ancient lore, a mystery awaits forevermore. Follow moonlit trails where stars align. Through echoes of the past, the answer you'll find. In the heart of circles where history spun, uncover the truth when the riddle is done. Within the ring where shadows dance, a choice awaits, a subtle chance. Innocence veiled or darkness bound, the ancient stones hold secrets profound.
So, how big is like the inscription? Does it take up like the whole door?
It does, and it's actually not like in like lines. That's just the first, and it's almost in concentric circles.
Okay. Do I have like parchment or paper or something? Would I, or is that not?
I mean, no.
All right.
There is no paper yet.
Yeah, otherwise I'd be out of business.
Yeah. However, I mean, if you have like a animal skin, you could take charcoal and rub it on the etching, and then take the animal skin and sort of press it on. That would work.
I'll look down to to Mint. Do you have anything that I could use to like an animal skin or something?
He kind of like reaches into his skull and he pulls out a really small, like what would be the pelt of like a rabbit. I don't.
That's
Probably not big enough.
Do you
And he's
have
holding. He's actually he has a stick of charcoal.
do you
but-
have any bigger animal skin?
He like stuffs it back in, like just like his head goes into the cow skull. Like you hear things moving around, and then he pops his head back out, and he just kind of shrugs and like.
Right. Perhaps we should go get to the others, see if they can aid us with this.
Mint agrees.
okay. So you guys head back.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys head back, you go back into the main chamber, and you can see the rest of everyone sort of around the fire, warming themselves up. So what do you tell people?
I'll come back and be like, Mint here, our wonderful small friend, has found a quite the discovery of words. That seems to be a poem or a riddle of sorts written on a huge door back here. Something I think is worth checking out.
They show the way because, as far as Karen's concerned, it's like, ooh, here's some material for a song.
I'm
Derek's
curious.
still pointing to
I want to see it.
They make me make a fire, and then they walk away.
Yeah, you're gonna see like, Mint, like he sits down next to the fire, like he's just kind of starting to sit down, and then he hears everybody talking about going to see, and then he just stands up.
Hey.
Right. Do any of you have any large animal skins or anything? Is that any of your...
I just turned to Varric, considering everything they've done so far.
Yeah, I got the my one like article of clothing on my upper body is my vest, like my deerskin vest. I was kind of like, okay, here, take that off, hand it to him.
Hey, you're literally giving the shirt off your back.
Ooh, now he's like a bare-chested barbarian, guys.
Careful, ladies.
If you guys think this is cool, wait till we start getting altitude.
I look forward to it. All right, so you guys head back down and show them the door.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you guys get down.
What language is it in, by the way?
Yeah, I was going to say, am I able to read it when we get to the door? Because I'm Celestial and Common.
It's sort of, you're able to read it because of the celestial aspect.
Okay.
It's not written in celestial,
It just has like
Is-
elements of it.
but you're
Is
able
it-
to read it because of celestial.
Is it Sylvan?
No. You're able to read it, though. Willow,
Druidic?
because you're a druid.
Ah. That's
It's not
okay.
in druid. It's not in druidic. It's not a language that's written that any of you recognize, but some
Right.
of you can actually read it for some reason.
Oh, because okay.
Okay.
Can Varric read it?
What languages do you speak? Or do-
Common and giant.
No.
So I'm like, I'm kind of reading it out loud as I'm looking at it. So
So you said the door is pretty tall. Can Bellinor even reach the top of it to begin to charcoal imprint this?
How tall are you?
Let me check. 6'2".
6'2". No.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, I'll look over to Varric and be like, "Well, here's your vest back," and he'll take a piece of charcoal. Would you be able to color in the inscription and imprint it onto your vest so we have a copy of it?
Okay. He starts doing an imprint on the inside of his vest.
Mint thinks that Varrock is a very kind soul for letting us dirty his clothes.
Where I come from, most clothes are optional, so.
Love it. All right, so we've gotten the etching or the rubbing. So what do you all do? So you have this massive door. It doesn't have a door handle or a visible lock. It has this ornate frame around it, and then the door's in the middle. What do y'all want to do?
Did Belnor speak the poem?
Yeah, I would have read it out the first time to you, and then the second time, Willow has read it out loud too.
Yeah. Now, when you read the poems out, when you read it out loud, the two of you that read it out loud, actually everybody can roll a perception check because everybody would have seen what happened, but let's see if you actually noticed it.
22.
Okay.
24.
7.
Yeah, Varric now.
Varric's too busy doing
14.
14. Okay. Everyone except Varric did notice that when the poem was read out loud, do you see more cuneiform, it's like cuneic symbols would light up on the frame of the door.
Do it again. Do it again.
I say, are we able to read the symbols as they appear?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
What do the symbols say?
When you read it out loud and they light up, it literally says, "Knock and ye shall enter."
Okay. Then I'll read out loud so the ones that can't read it can say, "Knock and you shall enter."
Varric knocks.
Okay. So, knocks, and when Varric knocks on it, you will everything will start to tremble a little bit, and you'll see the dust sort of falling, and the door slowly opens to what looks like the hallway that extends beyond. It goes deeper.
So it's a door that asks you to be polite. That's interesting.
I'm gonna pick up just a loose stone on the cave floor. I'm pretty sure there's plenty around. Cast light on it and just toss it through the doorway.
And it just goes down the thing, and it lights up the hall. It's a hallway again.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. There's nothing hidden in the dark. It's literally just a hallway.
Well, I was trying to see if maybe we can see like depending on how far it goes through the door, like how long the hall is. Was kind of my main thing.
You don't see the end of the hall.
Okay.
Mint's curiosity is killing his cat, and he runs in.
Okay, so Mint runs in. You all see Mint run in, and then he sort of disappears in the dark.
Yeah.
You can still hear him running, though. You can hear him going down the hall.
As Mint runs in, I go like, Mint, no, gods, and I'll just start to follow.
Okay. Then we have Kieran goes in.
Varric's going to try and find a larger rock, and he's going to turn to Bellinor and be like, "Can you cast light on this?"
I'll reach out and cast light on it.
Takes it, carries like a football, and runs in.
Oh,
okay. You guys see the rock, the lit rock go in. And yeah. Who goes next?
Bellinor, as he's running down the hall, will tightly wrap up the vest and shove it into like his pouch to make sure they keep it.
Keep it. Okay, cool. And then I'm assuming Willow follows behind.
Yep.
All right, cool. As you all go down the hallway, Willow, as you go beyond the threshold and into the hallway, as you're following, you will hear the door behind you shut. You'll hear it, and it will echo down the hallway. Everyone will hear it.
All right, then.
Yeah. As you continue running down the hall, it will come to an opening and open up into a large chamber. In this large chamber, it almost looks like a forest within a mountain. There's vegetation everywhere, all the way up.
Wow.
And there's actually we're talking like the ceiling is extremely high, and there are like what look like holes that lead to the surface, and there are sort of like beams of light coming in. And
moonlight.
The
No, it's not moonlight yet.
No, it's daylight at this point. You come in to this chamber, and it literally looks like a rainforest almost. And in the center of this sort of rainforest is this large open area, this empty open area.
Has Bellinor heard any stories of anybody coming across anything like this, whether it be through bards performing at his tavern or people just talking about running into something like this?
I'm glad you asked. Why don't you roll me a history check?
How about to say, can I roll the same?
You most certainly can.
Yeah.
Everybody can roll history if you'd like, to see if anybody has ever heard of anything.
That is a nat 1 for a 2.
Yeah. Kieran doesn't know anything.
5.
Nope.
Net 1.
Yeah, nope. What did you get? Bellinor, what'd you get?
18 total.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mint, were you going to roll, or are you just like, I don't know shit?
No, Mint, if there's any, like, I was going to ask if there's any glowing mushrooms or anything that he'd be like,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's probably
You'll find
like
all kinds of like iridescent fungi.
Yeah, he's definitely thunking the fungi to see if it reacts and like just doing shit.
Oh yeah, they'll woo.
Yeah, and it's like picking some up. I guess that's what he'll spend his time doing is picking up some.
Okay, cool. Bellinor, there was something about that poem on that door that has just been eating at you. And you go, ah. The poem was called Sylvan Mischance. You have heard that name before. It's a name. Sylvan Mischance is a mythical person. You've heard these myths about a Sylvan Mischance, who was a very powerful druid that lived in the mountains, the North Mountains, who was benevolent. He was sort of crazy, actually, sort of on the crazy side. The rumor is that he would lure people into his lair and then you'd never hear from them again. Which is not the case, because how did the myth get out if we've never heard from them again? So okay, that doesn't make any sense. So could this possibly be his sort of lair? You've heard of there are descriptions of it as being sort of like a circle of standing stones, bathed in moonlight, that sort of thing. Now here you don't see that. You do see a large clearing, but you don't see anything bathed in moonlight. You don't see anything of that nature.
How big is this like room that we're in?
The thing is huge. It is like 300 and something feet tall, and it's probably just as wide. I mean, it's a massive chamber.
Okay.
But it's literally full of like vegetation, like trees and plants, and there you can even every once in a while you'll see like a wild rabbit, and it's like a whole ecosystem of its own. There's grass, it's that sort of thing.
So yeah, Bellinor will look to everyone and just be like, "There's stories of a old druid or powerful being, at least, that relates to that poem, the Sylvan Mischance, I believe was his name. He apparently lived in some sort of lair that was a circle of stones, and I don't know if that relates to what this is. It doesn't seem to be a circle of stones in here, but this is a very odd spectacle for sure."
Okay.
Is it possible the circle is hidden here? Maybe. I mean, we all know druids love to keep their secrets. No.
You guys can investigate this whole space if you want to, see what you find.
Yeah, I mean Kieran was saying that out to the group after Bellinor said what he said.
Okay.
That's why Kieran said the whole "no offense, Willow," about being very secretive.
I have suspicion that what we need to find will be revealed during nighttime. Moonlight has been mentioned a few times in these stories. That poem itself mentioned moonlight. And obviously, if the outside sunlight is getting in, that means moonlight can as well.
Yeah.
I just rolled a nat 20 on my investigation.
Whoa, fantastic.
Nice.
So cool. So Varric, as you're kind of rolling, walking around, kind of looking at the place, you do see like you could like live here forever and be sustained on what's in here. So it's like this is like a whole world of its own. But as you're kind of wandering around in the clearing area, in the center of the clearing, on the ground there, you can see it's sort of grown over a little bit, but you can see something that's under the dirt and grass that sort of covered it a little bit. Can't quite make it out
see if
unless
we can surface it.
Yeah. So as you clear it away, there is another one of those cuneic form symbols.
Bellinor, kind of wave him down.
Okay.
Okay. He'll take a second to look through the trees and look around the room, just being like, "Oh, this echo is not helping."
Yeah, I know. Wait, where's that coming from? Okay.
But yeah, he'll go over.
All right, so Bellinor, you'll go over. Varric will show you the cuneic form symbol. When you look down, it is the symbol. To you, it looks like the celestial symbol for moonlight.
So he'll look to Varric and be like, this appears to be confirming what I suspected before. Moonlight seems to be the answer here."
And Varric, you will also, while he's talking to you, you'll look up and around, and you'll notice that one of the shafts of light are right on it, of sunlight, shine right on it.
So it's just a matter of time before moonlight would shine on it.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Mint
So
wonders what the difference is between moonlight and sunlight.
Well, the moon generates its own light, obviously. I mean, anyone with eyes can see that. It's different light.
Yeah. Here, I'm like, as I'm hearing this, I'm just going like
this.
One is
blue light, one is white light.
The great part is that
What
none of us know any different anyway.
Do the runes not know it's the same light?
They obviously know. They're not stupid.
Is his skull still lit, or is that turned off?
I
turned it off.
I think they turned it off. I think. Kira, what were you saying?
No, I was saying as I was hearing those two doing the whole like, oh, the moon generates its own light, I just go like this.
Fair. It's like, oh, God. Okay, so you guys can kind of assume that when the moon rises. Oh, go ahead, and then I'll continue.
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna be kind of looking around for any druidic symbols, but
You don't see any druidic
No rush.
symbols. You don't see any. There are no like specific druid symbols. You will find symbols. You'll find these cuneic form symbols that will shift into druid, but you don't find any actual druid symbols. And there are like
gotcha.
these cuneic form symbols are like all over the place. And some of them don't translate into much at all. Oh yeah, you harvest all kinds of mushrooms, Mint. You find a lot of symbols for like moonlight. Most of them are on the ground.
Whenever we find the ones for moonlight, is it correspond to a shaft above?
No. Actually, it doesn't.
Just the one. Okay.
Just there's only that one shaft of light that's hitting that one particular spot. There are other shafts but they're hitting like the walls of the cave. They look more like random. This one looks very specific.
Gotcha.
But you do find, I mean, you'll find these sort of symbols on the floor in this clearing area. You'll find them on the ground in various locations around this circle. So what do y'all do?
Well, I mean, we don't have much of an option to wait till midnight. I mean, we all heard the door close behind us. I don't know if there's really much leaving at this point.
Do you want me to start another fire?
Is it chilly in here?
No, it's actually quite temperate. It's literally like a rainforest. It's actually rather warm.
Mint will do a perimeter sweep.
Okay. So Mint will do a perimeter sweep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
See, like as he says this, his hands are like glowing because he's grabbed so many fucking mushrooms and shoved them inside of his skull. He's got,
You can see it all over his face.
yeah, over his face,
Like,
and his
like
eyes look a
scratched
little
himself
wider
or
than
something.
normal.
It's like, it's like,
yeah.
I can see it now. That's.
I'll
fantastic.
say since we're gonna be waiting for the sun to set and the moon to rise, I'm just gonna find a spot where I can just sit there and I'm just gonna pull my lute out and just go ahead and start, creating a tune for what we've seen so far.
Okay, cool. So you're
with the
gonna
secret
sit and
tunnel.
play music. Okay. Varric, what are you up to?
Is practicing with his spear. Sort of the spear version of ghost boxing, basically.
Okay, cool. Bellinor, what are you up to?
I'm going to be looking around to see if there's any plants that you normally don't find like out in the normal forest that could be used for brewing or anything like that.
Awesome. You can roll me a nature check.
Boy.
Kieran, what are you doing?
Well, like I said, I'm finding a spot and just pull my lute out, creating a tune.
Oh, that's
for
right.
what
You're
we've
playing
seen
your
so
lute.
far.
I'm sorry.
Like I said,
That's
especially, about our secret tunnel, the climb.
Okay, cool.
Secret tunnel.
Then Willow, what are you up to?
I'm
As you
going
hear-
to find a spot and meditate.
Okay, cool. Until the moon rises. All right, what did you get, Bellinor?
Uh-huh.
19 total on the nature check.
Yeah. As you're kind of through the mountain.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you do notice that there are actually plants here that you've never seen before. You've no idea what they do, but you've never seen them before. They're actually fruit trees with fruit on them that you've never seen before. These sort of small, round, red fruits on these sort of long stems. They grow in bunches off of these trees. You've never seen these before.
He'll pick a few of them, and then
Okay.
he'll go find mint.
Okay.
I would say, out of curiosity, do I see Bellinor finding this fruit?
Well, yeah, he's like right there. I mean, you can't miss it.
Yeah. So as soon as I see him, I'm going like, oh look! I start picking it. I was gonna as I'm still like tuning and finding it and finding a melody, going like, told you you'd find something if you picked up your pace earlier.
Nice. Wow.
I don't even know how to respond to
that.
that.
Well, okay, considering what me and you discussed with Kieran's backstory, he kind of has to.
Oh no, I know, I totally get it. It's just very much like Kieran's a smart ass.
I don't play characters like this often, so I'm like having fun with it.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So as you're walking across the open area, Kieran pops off at you. And with your passive, you can see this sort of like glowing little thing, like a glow, kind of moving around in the sort of wooded areas of this area, which is obviously mint.
You would also see like
because-
anything that was reactive, like he would be hitting shit. So like you'd see other things just boom, just boom.
Yeah. He's literally lighting up his path as he's going. So yeah, so you hear Kieran sort of pops off at you. You kind of look at him like,
Yeah.
so rude.
He'll walk away, and then he'll try to sneak up on mint.
Ooh, okay. Roll stealth and roll perception. There, mint. Let's see if Bellinor can sneak up on you.
All right, let's see. All right, well,
13.
16. Oh, I was gonna try and say it first.
He said, what was it, 13 and 16?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're not able to. He can hear you coming a mile away.
He goes too much.
Yeah.
So if I tell that I'm not able to sneak up on him, so I'm just gonna walk up to him and be like, I found this new fruit. It seems quite interesting. Would you mind tasting it for me? Having no idea whether or not it's poisonous or does any effects.
Nice.
Mint has not lived this long if he was to just eat any fruit that he came across. Are you kidding me? And then he eats it.
Okay, so Mint pops it in his mouth and he begins to eat it. And there is a seed in the middle, so he kind of chomps down on a seed. But the fruit itself is sort of bittersweet. And it's actually not bad. It's like really good. There's no ill effects. He doesn't seem to get sick from it. He doesn't or drop dead or anything like that. So
Hold on.
yeah.
He's gonna make a performance, and he rolled an 18, and he's gonna say, I've eaten so many of these mushrooms that I perhaps need one more to really get the flavor. So do you have another one?
He'll reach into his bag where he's just got like a pocket full of them, and he'll just pull one out.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like, no. Yeah, they're good.
Right. Bellinor definitely just watches Mint from a distance from here on out, just making sure poison doesn't start taking effect or anything.
It'd be hilarious.
As you observe Mint, nothing doesn't seem
mannerisms
to
and-
affect him at all.
He's like completely random and shit, and he's like, and like he'll just do stuff, and then and then you're like, oh shit, and then he's just him doing something.
Just being weird.
just-
It's just him being weird. So, all right. So you can deduce that they are not poisonous, and that Mint said they were pretty tasty, actually.
All right, then I'll look.
Do you try one yourself?
Yeah, I'll try one myself after a while. After an hour of waiting and watching Mint, making sure he doesn't drop dead.
Just like ran, just just like
I know, hey, I'm good.
And he just
No,
gets up and keeps walking because he's Mint.
Yeah, it is like, oh, that was just false alarm. No, it just literally, it seems fine. He's not affected by it at all. Except now he wants more of them. So he's very much like, where did you find those? Where can I find these delicious little
Yeah, he's looking for them.
rounded fruits?
Yeah, I will. If he's looking for them, I will hand him like an extra pouch that I have and just be like, fill it up.
His eyes light up. Wait, did you tell him where they were? Because he'll go and climb, and he'll.
Oh yeah, he'll point to like all the different trees that there are with it on them.
Okay, yeah, he's in the trees. So
Okay. So and you eat one yourself?
Yeah, I'll take a bite of one.
Okay. So when you bite into it, again, there's a seed, so you have to spit the seed out. But the fruit is extremely good. It's a little bittersweet. The darker ones are a little more bitter than the lighter ones, but so as they sort of ripen, they get sweeter. And yeah. But if you keep the seeds, you could probably plant them. Yes, you've never seen these fruits before.
So is it like sour when they're not ripe? Or
Yeah, they're like bitter. It's like really bitter. They're not bad. They still taste good. They're just more of like a sour.
Okay. Then yeah, he definitely would get as many of them as possible. And like if Mint was just running around collecting more, if he'd fill up a pouch, he'd hand him another pouch. Just
beautiful. So you have officially discovered cherries.
Yeah.
So there are now cherries in the world. These are cherry trees. There are sour cherries and then there are the sweeter ones. So, but yeah, you have discovered cherries. Yeah. So as you guys sort of chill and you're looking around and doing your thing, meditating, one thing, Kieran, as you're playing your music, you will notice that the ceiling of the cave begins to sparkle. Almost like it's flowing with the music. Like
it's resonating.
It's like, it's whatever is up in it looks like crystals or something that are resonating with the music. And it's almost like starlight.
Okay, because hold on. Because hearing that, like, I think let me reread the thing real quick. What? I say, is there any like those crystals close to the ground that I'm able to examine, or are they all like on the very ceiling?
They're like all up at the ceiling.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Figured I just double check on that part. So I want to keep note of that thing on that for later, especially once the moon rises to kind of see if maybe that's another part of it.
Okay. Cool. All right. So as you guys are there, the sun is setting, the moon begins to rise. As the moon hits its peak, the moonlight will come through that shaft or through that hole, and a shaft of moonlight will bathe that center cuneic symbol. When that happens, you will see that center stone raises out of the floor. And to about, for a normal sized person, it'd be about to their waist. I say that because, Barrick's a huge person. But for them, it's like that. And when that happens, you will see it is sort of crystalline underneath the paving stone. Mm-hmm. The crystal glows and it shoots like beams of moonlight, and it hits those cuneic forms that were on the floor, and these massive stone pillars rise out of the ground, creating a standing stone circle around you. And when those hit there, they sort of stop. They begin to hum, almost like someone humming a tune. And the crystals in the ceiling begin to react, like they sort of resonate. And it's this so it looks like starlight. The path lights up, and you can see it sort of like almost like the fungus, the algae illuminates, and it's all this beautiful blue light surrounding you. So what do you do? So you guys are kind of on the outside of the center. So there's this center plinth in the middle. and then the standing stones all the way around. And they all have symbols on them that represent moonlight, starlight, that sort of thing. They sort of alternate as they go around.
So, out of curiosity, does it look like everything is where it should be? Like the tune we're hearing, does it sound like it's like it's actually does it sound like it's actually in harmony with where it should be? Does it sound more like it's out of tune?
No, it sounds like it's in right where it should be.
Okay,
it's quite beautiful actually. It's sort of
yeah. No, I didn't know if it was maybe like one of those moments where it's like, oh, like here's the thing, but then it's like, wait, no, it's not 100% there. We got tune it, so to speak.
Right. No, this seems almost perfect.
Okay.
So what do you do?
Is there anything different about the starlight glow compared to when I was playing?
It's a little brighter.
Yeah.
And they're resonating a little bit faster. Not like quick, but like stars would sort of twinkle.
Okay. So they're not moving, they're just glistening where they're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. It looks like the night sky.
Yeah, okay.
Above you.
Oh wow. If I'm not in the circle, I want to step into it.
I think you are all in the circle at this point. So you're in the circle.
Okay.
Now, when you go into the circle feels cooler than the outside of the circle. Not cold, but just cooler.
Yeah. And you said there's a light on the ground, creating a path?
Yeah, where the grass is, it's sort of glowing this really kind of beautiful bluish color.
Okay. Are we able to tell where that path leads from inside the circle, or?
The path that it goes down where you came from, and then it goes to the opposite side to the wall.
I'm going to go to that wall.
Okay. You can go and you want to go investigate it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll let you go over there and you can roll investigation. What's everybody else do? So Willow, you're standing inside the circle. Bellinor, Mint, and Varric, what are y'all doing?
Varric is going to go with Kieran. He's going
Okay.
to go investigate as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, so I don't find shit.
It just it just looks like the path just ends naturally.
Yeah.
18.
Varric sees the same thing. It's sort of like this path, it's just like the grass has grown up to the wall of this cave. It's odd. Varric finds it odd that it's a perfect path to a dead end. So he probably thinks that there's something here, or there will be something here.
He has that rock still that had the light cast on it, the larger rock, and he just throws it where down where the path would go.
And it just hits the wall and falls to the floor.
No, my rock.
So it's solid. No, that doesn't change the columns at all. You can feel them vibrating, though. They are vibrating, which is probably creating that sort of music.
Hum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about Mint and Bellinor? What are you guys doing?
I would probably say Bellinor is not being very much help right now because he is literally just thinking in his head recipes: cherry whiskey, cherry wine, cherry this, cherry that. He is.
Wait, are we doing something? I'm sorry.
Out of curiosity, before I ended up going over there, were you saying any of those out loud, or was it all in your head?
It was all in his head. He's just like
okay. Now I was going to make a joke, but I'll save it for later then.
Like he's just sort of staring off into space, like
yeah.
I think Mint is just filled to the brim with cherries.
Yeah.
He's got every single pouch he's made. Everything's just filled up. He's got the bag that Bellinor gave him, like just kind of slung over his shoulder, and he's just like reaching inside the skull and pulling out a cherry every now and then and just eating it.
Okay.
Everywhere he walks, cherries are falling out of the skull.
Yeah. Wherever he ends up, he's probably, like when we leave, he's probably going to be propagating cherries, and whatever fungus is on him as he walks for a while.
He created glowing cherries.
Yeah, like he's like the spread of whatever these iridescent, things are, or if they're gonna probably spread out of this cave pretty quickly.
We just introduced an invasive species into the wild.
Echoes of the past.
But yeah, he'd be watching what everyone's doing. I mean, the noise would definitely get his attention, but just kind of sitting there.
I think I'm going to follow the path to the wall.
Okay. When you follow the path to the wall, it literally it's a wall. You can touch it, and it's solid.
Is there any like writing or anything on the stones that appeared?
Each of the columns or the pillars, they have the cuneic symbols that stand for moonlight, starlight.
Okay.
As my investigation didn't really turn up anything, I head back to the circle. Is there any particular order that they're in? Like, does it look like it's like here's one that says moonlight, here's one starlight, here's one's moonlight, here's one starlight?
They alternate. It's just an alternating thing. Yeah, so there's not like a pattern to it.
Okay.
I will pull out the seeing that we're kind of at a standstill and everyone's just kind of wandering around at this point. I will be like, "Oh, right, we're doing something," and he'll pull out the vest and kind of just read through the poem again, and then he'll look up at the stars. Are there any like stars that seem to make any sort of symbols or line up in any specific way?
You can roll an investigation check, and let's see.
That is a 23.
Oh, good. As you're sort of like looking, you can start to see patterns forming, which almost look like constellations. And you can they sort of as the lights are pulsating, these particular like constellations or symbols or whatever they are very bright, and everything else around them is dim. So you can pick out a series of them.
Do they mean anything to me?
Wait, what are you? Oh, you read Celestial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually says you can make out there's a message in the stars. It says in the circle's grasp, symbols hold the key. Choose your emblem, set your spirit free. Exit the dance where destinies align with glee. And I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
My brain does not operate well when people read things to me.
That's fair. There you go. I'll put it in Twitch as well, so folks in Twitch can play along.
Circles, grass, symbols hold the key. Choose your emblem, set your spirit free. Exit the dance where destinies align with glee.
So, I guess I'll look around in the circle for symbols. Are there any symbols around in the bottom of the circle? Or
You see the ones that say moonlight, starlight all the way around. No one has investigated the center plinth. However,
yeah, I'll go look at that.
Okay. So as you approach the center plinth, it begins to glow a little brighter. And this is it's like a good 3 foot like wide stone on top of this plinth. And from the stone arise these cuneic symbols in light, and they just circle. They make a circle.
What do they say?
They are numbers.
Oh.
1 through what was it? 1 through 1 through 27. The highest number is 27.
All right. He'll point that out to everybody and be like, right, so he'll read the stuff that the star said out loud to everybody and then be like,
Okay.
right, and then on the pillar here there's numbers. I don't really know what we're supposed to do with this from here, but
So if you get closer to it, do you step closer to it?
yeah.
Okay, so when you step closer to it, in the center of the cuneic form symbols, you see this image appear of what looks like an old man, and it speaks to you, and it says, "Welcome, traveler. I am Sylvan Mischance. This is my kingdom. Here you must choose, or lose, or gain. It's your game. In order to exit my kingdom, you all must choose a number between 1 and 27.
So he wants us to
Good luck.
gamble.
And then he disappears.
Right. Apparently, this has become a gambling game. I'm picking my number, and he picks the number 13.
Mother. I was gonna choose that.
So make drop your whatever number you're going to choose. Drop it in the chat so that I have it.
Oh, Taryn, goddamn. Oh.
Okay. So let me.
Instead of going for the unlucky number, I guess I'll go for the lucky number.
So Taryn,
Oh. Oh.
17. L, 7. Nice. 1. I'm choosing 1. Surely 1 can't be horrible in this instance. And then once you all hit your numbers, the man will reappear. And he says, "Choices have been made. Now you may exit." And then he disappears. And then you see suddenly the lights, the twinkling lights start to descend to the ground. And they kind of coalesce into what look like figures dancing. As they dance and they twirl, they run, they go down the path, and then they hit the wall. When they hit the wall, it creates a doorway.
Ah.
Guys, I'm really scared. Nobody chose an even number.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we all chose prime numbers.
So there's the exit. What do you do?
All right. Well,
Mint is going to awkwardly dance towards the exit because he thinks that he has to dance.
Before Mint's able to get too far away, I'm going to kind of do what
I rolled a nat
Eleanor-
20
Oh, nice.
You rolled a nat 20.
on my performance
Love-
to dance.
Before he dances away, I'm going to pat him on the back and do the same thing Eleanor did and cast light on him.
Yeah, he's going to ask that y'all don't do that.
Okay, I won't do that then, my bad. I'll take that back.
Please don't.
I'll just do what I
He's
did the
gonna
first.
look and he says he's going to say, "Not again."
Not good.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
so-
dismiss as soon as he says that.
That's fine.
But he'll extend his one of his bone weapons, like a
Yeah,
you
that'll
want-
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he'll hold the bone weapon like a
A
Like
baton.
prop, and he'll dance with it.
I love it. So
I
you
don't know
go
how he can glow
see
any more than he
Mint.
already was.
Yeah, it's like a rave. Yeah. Like raving his way out of this cavern. And he goes through the doorway and down the hallway.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the literal sense of dancing with Lee. I'm just going to walk.
Okay. Out you go.
You danced too, didn't you?
Nope.
Sure, why not?
Varric is gonna Saturday Night Fever out.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Love it. Okay. Out he goes. Bellinor and Willow.
I'm gonna look at Bellinor and I'm just gonna walk through.
I'll say, please, I'm not the only one who's just walking.
Okay. So Willow walks through, and Bellinor, you're the last
Bellinor
one.
puts his palm on his forehead and be like, "What did I get myself into?" He'll walk through.
Walks through. As you're the last one to cross the threshold. When you cross the threshold and you kind of look back at this amazing place, you'll see the pillars go back into the floor. Everything goes back to the way it was as the wall behind you just slowly turns into stone and the opening is gone. As you all walk forward, you walk back in to the cavern that you first came into the mountain in. There's where your fire was. You notice that your fire is out. It has stopped raining. You can roll investigation or survival, Varric, if you'd like, on your fire.
$18.
Okay. You can, as you go and you look at your fire, it's stone cold.
It's been out for a while.
You can deduce that it's been out for several hours.
How long were we in there?
Like
about
I'm
12
talking
hours?
like several hours beyond. It's been like days.
So he's just gonna
What
kneel
was,
down.
which was only a few hours to you in the cavern has been days outside.
Put his hand kind of pat where the fire was and be like,
Oh yeah.
he conveys that to everybody. Like, this has been out for days.
The rain's not happening anymore. The sun's shining. You can't even. It's not. It's as if the rain never happened. Everything's dry.
Wonders if "out for days" is an expression you use for a little while where you come from.
He hands him the charcoal from the burnt wood in the fire. It's like, this is cold. This has been out 4 days.
They did the time warp.
Hearing Varric say that, like, you got to be joking, right?
I'm not joking. We've been in there for several days. Look outside. It's not wet.
Right. We haven't long rested yet. Either, have we?
Mitt will go out to the mouth of the cave and he'll like kick the ground and he'll be like, "Yep, not wet."
Thank you, Mint.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Right,
All right. So as you all sort of take that in for a moment, you all begin to feel different. Like there's something off about yourselves that, you know yourselves pretty well. But something just feels a little off. Like just something strange. And that's where we're going to end the night.
Goddamn cherries.
It was the cherries all along. No.
Cherries were okay. 30 cherries.
Cherries were good. So good. Yeah. So you'll have to come if you want to find out what's wrong with them. You'll have to come back next time and see. And I will send you guys what you rolled. I'll send what's wrong with you.
Oh no.
Oh.
Something fun. It's gonna be.
Did
fun.
we all choose poorly?
No, it's one of those things like it's both good and not so good. But it's, you'll
All
see.
right.
I'll send them to you individually so you know what it is. But yeah. Was it cherries on people from the air? You would have cherry bombs. Funny. So, all right. So let's go around and let everybody do their outros. You can tell them again who you are, who you played, where they can find you, projects, and this time on our way out, what do you think has happened to all of you? This will be fun. So we'll go in reverse order. We're going to start with Kel.
Hey guys, so again, I'm Kellen, also of the Celtic Wyvern King. And you can find me on Twitch and TikTok under the same. You can find me every Monday here for either Orlea Origins or Rise of Aria on alternating Mondays. Every other Friday, you can find me on my own channel where I run a Stargate 5e campaign with Lisa and Nick here. And on alternating Fridays, you can also find me over on Dinner a Game as we get into a Walking Dead campaign. Tonight, I had fun again playing Kieran, our bard. And when it comes to what I think is wrong with him, well, it ain't you because I was allowed to speak. I'm gonna say he probably forgot how to do something, whether it's play his instrument or maybe forgot how to hunt. Maybe there's something like this. He forgot like partial amnesia.
Okay. Cool. Christian.
Hey everybody, Temporary Hip Points here. I play Mint, Orcanus, the wild and crazy goblin. You can find me if you happen to be interested in clicking on the link tree. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and I do art stuff. I think that Mint is going to be a different shade of hue. So maybe some polka dots. And he'll have a breath attack.
Hold on. If he gets a breath, it has to be a gas and it smells like mint.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It's like,
Flammable mint.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, that's your peppermint.
No, fluorescent. a fluorescent cherry scent.
Oh God. Cherry mint. Cherry mint. All right. Nick.
Hey everyone, my name is Nick. I play the part of Varric Wolfspear Vigari, the Goliath Barbarian. You can find me on TikTok at Professor Hexagon, and you can also find me on Twitch. I keep saying this every time. I swear I'm going to start streaming soon. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. I've been very busy. You can find me at NickSant73. I'm also on the Kellen was mentioning. I'm also on his Stargate campaign with Lisa. So check us out there. We have another game coming up, not this Friday, but next Friday, 10:30 Eastern. It's a lot of fun. What I think is wrong with Varric, I think he might have gained a second attack, but is now allergic to mead.
That'd be terrible for Barbarian. Yeah, Goliath.
I won, but at what cost?
I know. All right, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. I play D&D Winterwolf on TikTok and Discord. I play Willow Rayvire, a Eladrin Druid. You can find me on alternating Mondays, either here on Orlea Origins or on Windriders. Orlea Origins or Windriders of Aria on Halfling Wizards Twitch channel here. On alternating Fridays, I'm in the Stargate campaign, as they've mentioned, which if you haven't checked it out, it's a lot of fun. And also Windriders of Aria to check out this new game system, Surge. We're having so much fun with it. I think that we either gained or lost a number of years corresponding to the number that we chose.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ouch.
Actually, if that's what happened, then me and you got to talk, Will, about so we were doing my backstory.
Or how many years we have left to live.
Like, taking you all the way to your very last year. This is it.
That'd be too mean.
At the end of this year, you will all die.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even that cruel. Not at all. All right, Taryn.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taryn. I play your apparently riddle solver paladin, Belanor Vesh. You can find me on most social medias, Fluid Player, and I will agree with Nick here in the sense that I promise I will start streaming soon. I'm just getting there. I'm busy, but yeah, I think that we either lost points in like one of our stats and gained points in another one of our stats.
Oh, that would hurt. Especially for those of y'all who went double digits.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like those of you who went double digits, that would be brutal. That would be brutal. Yeah. All right. Of course, I am Will, or Halfling Wizard, the Maestro of Chaos here, with this awesome group of folks. And you can find us here every other Monday with Origins. And on the opposite Monday, you can find me here again with Kellen and Lisa as we play Wind Riders of Aria, a brand new TTRPG platform called Surge that we are streaming and having a great time with. There's a lot of fun things have already happened in our premiere episode, which was last Monday. You can find me also over ADH Adventures playing Mim, the druid, the mimic folk druid in Turning Point, and every other Saturday I play Ikaran Unwell, the Hexblade war cleric emo sort of character over there on that one. Otherwise, you can find me here on the Halfling Wizard Twitch channel. If you like what you saw today, please give us a follow, give us a share, that sort of thing. Share us with your family, share us with your friends. Tell them to come check us out. Those of you who have hung out with us, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for chatting with us. If you'll hang loose, we're going to raid another channel after this. But thank you all for being here and hanging out with us. And until next time, we'll see you. Keep being groovy, and we love you all. So, bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this Vibe Tribe Halfling Wizard production. Make sure to come back again soon to see what happens next. Right here, where adventure comes to life.